want it, you know I'ma get it. I'm not even close to the finish, just scratching the surface, turning my L's into
in the surface, turning my L's into winnings. I've been the one since the beginning. No days off. I go so hard in the pain. Put in that work and it's paying off quick. I left no crumbs, you know I ate. I'm pushing the limit like get out the way. I am the one, we not one in the same. Feeling brand new when you not in my lane. Count me back as I'm breaking the chain. I woke up the pieces.
Mooi vind ik dat je de weg niet meer hoort, dat er geen andere mensen zijn, dat je helemaal in het bos bent. En daar ligt dan opeens een supermooi blok. En er zit niks extra, er zit niks in de weg, er zit geen scherp greepje in. Ja, soms denk je wel eens van ja, dit kan toch bijna niet anders dan dat dit gemaakt is om te klimmen. Dit is echt perfect. He, alsof een hele goede routebouwer voor ons cadeautjes heeft neergelegd om te ontdekken. In die afgelegen gebieden vind ik het heerlijk om in mijn eentje te klimmen, alles zelf uit te zoeken, de geluiden van het bos om me heen. Een werkdag is echt, dan loop ik met mijn mapje door het bos en dan heb ik dingen uit te zoeken. Bijvoorbeeld nieuwe boulders die geopend zijn, intekenen. Er zijn vaak geen filmpjes van die boulders nog. Helemaal geen informatie. Nou, dat vind ik een hele mooie manier van klimmen.
I think that's great for everyone, but most importantly, the youngsters. Ondracombe is a very specific shoe, but especially if you're a lightweight climber, I think it's actually very universal, all-rounded shoe. If I could turn back the time and I was 12 years old again, I would use it for almost everything.
Welcome to the 2025 Dock Masters. It is Sunday, and that means it is finals day here at the Boulder Hall Energiehaven here in Utrecht in the Netherlands. The boulders are on the wall. The crowd is almost ready. They are here. They are waiting to get in. We have got a packed house for you this evening. Right now, we're going to wander up into ISO. We're going to talk to some athletes. We did it yesterday. We're going to do it today. This is an awesome behind-the-scenes piece for us. And we have a really interesting switch in the format that you're going to notice a bit later on. We'll get to that in a little bit. My name is Pete Woods. My co-host Danaan Markey is going to join you in a minute after these interviews. We're going to make our way into isolation into what is normally kind of a forbidden zone for media. The athletes are getting ready for the finals, and they're getting like in their headspace. You know, they're kind of warming up. They're making their taping and their tweaks, getting it just right. But because we are at the Dock Masters, they're letting us into this space. This is a great warm-up environment. They have a couple of boards you can climb on. Physios are here making sure people are getting tuned up properly. Mats. If you want to lift weights before you climb a final, you can do that too. So we're going to try and catch a few people, get their thoughts on yesterday, get their thoughts on the finals that's coming up in just about half an hour's time. Let's see who we can find. Let's see who's going to talk to us. Let's go. Wow. Let's just talk to Mika right away. How are you? Good. Mika M, back in the Dock Masters final. How are you feeling after yesterday's slaughterfest in the semi?
Very tired. yeah, very tired because with my injury, no climbing, I think, okay, if I go to semi, it's good. Now I'm final. For me, it's a chance. Just my body, it's out. Just, it's okay, it's good. I destroyed my body tonight, and and we see tomorrow.
When you come from a semifinal round like that, where the boulders are really expensive, they're hard to get, you have to do a lot more rock climbing when you're working for 5 minutes on every boulder. What is that recovery like from last night to today? Do you nap? Do you sleep? Do you eat? Do you take a bath? What's that situation?
Yeah, but when I have time, now it's a little bit complicated because it's very late. We finish at midnight. We go at home. Just the best it's sleep, maybe 9-10 hours, and after drink water. Okay, that's the best. Drink a lot of water, protein. Okay, food or complement what you want, and move a little bit. So this afternoon I don't stay in hotel. Just here I move in Amsterdam. I walk a little bit with my girl and take time, and after you can come back and go.
That's a perfect recipe. A lot of rest and lots of water. Water is something I think people it's underrated. People are like, oh, how much water do I have? More than you think you need to.
Yeah, more. The best, for normal people, is 2 liters per day, normal people. For me, if I have a 3 liter, 4, it's good. It's hard. It's important to know when I need. That's the most important. Sometimes it's hard to drink 2 liters, 3 liters. Just the most important, it's when you need. Just that.
And when you're in here and you're getting ready, are you climbing like mid-level boulders? Are you just doing movement patterns? Are you just trying to get that explosivity ready? What's your plan when you're like on the wall warming up?
Yeah, my plan, I come back just 2 hours before. I climb on the wall with a boulder for the amateur. I climb a little bit and I'm okay, I'm good. And I stop, take 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I come back here and just 1, 2, 3 boulder, just for my power, for my energy, for my head, and just break. I put my jacket for be hot, and I don't move, okay? Sometimes, you need to warm up just 5 minutes before they come. No, you can take 30-minute break, 1 hour break, it's okay. For example, all Japan, it's crazy. He warm up 2-3 hours before. When he come in isolation, he climb 30 minutes, and he stop for 1 hour and a half. And after he go climbing. And all Japan are strong.
And they know what they're doing. We've seen their success on the World Cup. And it's interesting because climbing is still growing and learning how to prepare. And there used to be this mindset that you had to get super pumped in isolation, get rid of that, and be basically climbing just before you went out. And we're shifting that narrative now to being like, take the time, take the rest, make sure you're just ready to go.
Yeah. I think all person have the different mindset, just the organization before go to the camp, to the wall. It's you need to take a moment in training in your home for try, whatever, maybe try 1 time to go in isolation and don't warm up. One time you warm up, 1 time you put your music, try. And for example, I take all my 10 years in French team, I move my system all 2 years, because my body is different, my goal is a little bit different, my mindset is different. When I start in French team, I have 23 years. I finish with 34. It's very different. The mindset is very different, and you need to stay open, to stay your brain open, because we change.
Wise words from a world champion. Bonne chance, mon ami.
Merci.
Climb hard. We'll see you out there.
Thank you.
Very wise words from Mika M. Let's see who else we can get. Hannis, you want to come and have a word with us?
Yes.
All right. Hannis, the people at home saw you climb yesterday. You stomped on some boulders yesterday. How are you feeling before the semi, and then how are you feeling as you went through that round?
I think before and just during I was like very concentrated. I think like a very good focus. So it was very good, and during the round I felt very solid, like in all the boulders. So it was very good.
Take me through boulder number 2. So you were the only climber to top boulder number 2. The top of that boulder was ridiculous. You told me earlier, describe to the people at home how bad the finishing sloper was.
Yeah, so actually the position to go to the end was quite okay. So I was expecting to be quite okay, but then I arrived at this hold and it was like so slopey, and I slipped away like a centimeter, and I was like just holding on to it, and then eventually I could put my heel and match, but even the match was like super hard because the slope was so bad, but yeah, was definitely a hard boulder.
It was a horrible boulder. What? Yeah, no, also horrible. I'm going to say it for you. It was a brutal boulder. Watching on the live stream, it was hard to tell because the big hold before the finish, really slopey. Was that heel hook, was it secure, or were you worried it was going to release?
No, it was, yeah, the heel hook was okay. I think it was more like the tension in the hand, which like if I put the heel hook, like I could enter a bit more in the wall, but I was scared I was going to slip off the hold. But yeah, the heel hook was quite okay, but it was indeed a very bad hold. It was not like the best heel hook in the world, but yeah.
What are you kind of thinking about when you're in isolation before a final of a comp like this? Are you getting psyched up? Are you trying to be calm? Are you thinking about the boulders that you might see? Or what, what's that mindset?
No, right now it's just like calm, just warming up, like not too much, but just to be good, ready for the final. And then like, I know like 10 minutes, I try to go in like full concentration and just put my headset on and like just listen to music, do some breathing and like get in the routine that I normally do, and then I get like super psyched for it, and then on the mat I should be like very psyched and ready to go.
So I know that people want to know, when you put the headset on, what are you listening to?
You don't want to know.
We do.
It's like, maybe the Dutch fans will know, it's like Visa Asbak and not a fish stick. It's very hardcore techno with some crazy sounds in it. You should listen to it once.
I will. I mean, a little bit of techno goes a long way. It gets that heart rate up, it gets you excited.
Yeah, it gets me very excited, yeah. I think if you're not getting excited from this, you're not going to get excited from a lot of other things, I think.
So you're excited to climb these finals boulders, I'm sure. We're looking forward to seeing if you can reproduce what you did yesterday. Is there extra pressure knowing that you're coming out last from being the top qualifier yesterday?
I don't think that's like the pressure, but I think the pressure is more coming from like for myself, that I know that I'm in a good shape and I know I can do great things, so I want to reproduce it, and I think my pressure is coming most of that to like show it again that I'm in good form. So yeah, that's probably most of the pressure come from, but I try to just calm and be concentrated, and then I think it will be okay.
I think it'll be okay too. If you climb like you did yesterday, you're going to be in good shape. Good luck.
Thank you.
Have fun. We'll see you out there.
Yes, thanks.
I'm going to see if I can grab Stasha, always up for a chat. You want to come have a chat with us? All right, all right. Here we are again, Stasha. I love seeing you in the finals in all things. Are you ready for your third consecutive, as I said when you're not anymore, are you ready for your third Dock Masters final in a row?
I am. I have warmed up now, just trying to keep up the temperature. I hear there's a lot going on down there on the stage and in front of the mats, so it's going to be fun. It's
definitely going to be fun. Yes, the semifinals round was really, really difficult. Does that make you, like, if the semifinals round is very difficult, are you more tired coming to finals, or is the recovery, is it the same, is it different? Are you, like, is it mentally more difficult to get ready for a finals when you know that the semifinal boulders were super difficult?
Do you understand Slovenian? Because that's exactly what I just spoke with Katja. I told her how much I hate warming up when I have like sore muscles, and it's not that sore, but you feel that you're tired and everything kind of feels heavy. And we had a lot of shoulder intense moves yesterday, and a lot of us with whom I've talked feel a little bit, yeah, not perfect, but that's the part of the comps. Sadly, for finals, you're usually the most tired. When you're supposed to give the best show, you are basically climbing on maybe 50% of your ability. So yeah, let's see. I mean, it's also the game of pushing through and managing your skin well and so on. So let's see. I mean, sometimes it doesn't matter that you're tired and you can still climb really well. That also often happens. It's, you know, the adrenaline keeps you up. You're in like full action, and you don't notice that you're tired, so you just go with your flow, yeah.
I kind of love that. You basically go on autopilot because of the experience. So talk to me a little bit about that. You've been competing for a long time. How are you different in your preparation from when you were first starting on the World Cup circuit to who you are now?
Yeah, I've been here a while. I'm much older now. I don't warm up as long as I used to. I don't train as much as I used to. I'm not nervous, which is also kind of boring. I get nervous at times. I did get nervous the last 2 years when I did lead, and I really liked it. For boulder, it almost doesn't happen anymore, which kind of kills one of the good parts about it. But yeah, I look differently at things, other people warming up, at kids coming to comps and seeing mistakes they make that I, did too, overdoing it in warm-up and so on. That sometimes happens. Not here. Here's a lot of experienced people already, so it's not the case here, but you can see it around for previous rounds and other comps. But yeah, a lot has changed. Mindset, I do feel like I'm a completely different person than I was, and I've been on the comp scene for 20 years, so yeah, it takes a toll.
It does take a toll, and we've been privileged to watch you climb for that long. It's awesome that you're back at the Dock Masters. I'm always rooting for you. I know Danaan's always rooting for you as well. You're a favorite for a lot of people, so good luck out there. Push through, climb hard. Let's see you back on that podium, yeah?
Yeah, thanks. Danaan is my buddy, so I have to be his favorite. But yeah, that really means a lot to me. Thanks a lot, and I hope everyone has fun watching it.
Okay. Amazing, amazing. Let's do one more. Let's go. Lots of people rock climbing. It's like all the women are like on the wall at this exact moment. It's pretty funny. You want to do a quick interview? Sure. All right, come on over. Take your shoes off. Yeah.
Sorry.
This is all part of the deal. This is why we're not usually allowed back here, is because we're sort of interrupting the process. Oh man, John, how are you feeling?
Good. A bit tired, but I'm excited to be in finals. It's my first time here, so I'm really glad I'm entering the finals.
Yeah, absolutely. And how does this kind of comp compare to, say, maybe a sanctioned event, a European Championship, or something like that?
I mean, it's more fun. I have less pressure and less expectation. I come here like for fun and for climbing, and have a competition before the World Cups and the season starts. So it's good. That's the difference. I mean, I have fun in international competition, but more pressure.
When you go out to preview the boulders, so if you're not super familiar, before finals, they get 2 minutes to look at each of the boulders, so they get to walk through that process. What's your mindset? What are you thinking of in those 2 minutes? Are you looking for the difficult part of the boulder? Are you just looking for a sequence? What are you hunting in those 2 minutes?
Yeah, I'm trying not to be too much focused on finding the hard part, but because when you watch it from the mats, it can be like hard to understand where the hard part is. So maybe you can start climbing and get it all wrong, and the easy part are hard and the hard are easy. So I just try to understand how to do it and the easiest way, and maybe I have some possibility in mind. So when I get on the mats and I try maybe my first possibility, if it doesn't work, I have other in mind, so I don't waste time finding them. So.
And that's something that people always wonder. We speculated about a lot when we're on the broadcast, when we're watching. How often do you end up changing your sequence or your beta on an attempt? So you go grab a hold, it's not as good as you think. Do you kind of push through, or do you immediately change to that plan B?
Yeah, I think it depends on the kind of boulder. Sometimes the boulders allows you to have time to change it while climbing, and other times you have to be really convinced in your guess and just go for it. And if it doesn't work, you can change the try after. So it really depends on the boulder. Sometimes you can decide while climbing, and sometimes you have to just go for it and hope it works. And if it doesn't, you change next time.
I love that. You go for it and hope it works. And it sort of takes away a bit of the mystique of thinking that the finalists have everything figured out. You know, especially when people flash boulders, you think, oh, it's so easy, but they're doing so much thinking on every move through the whole thing. And I'm curious, when you go from one boulder to the next, when you come back in ISO, are you thinking about the boulder that's coming up, or are you just trying to be calm and clear your mind?
I mean, the most important thing is not thinking about the boulder. You have just done or not. So like in finals, sometimes it's good to focus on the next boulder, so you will be focused when you start climbing. But like in semis, you don't know which boulder you will find outside, so it's just about focusing and being calm and try to rest in your 5 minutes. So it depends on the round, but yeah, in finals I usually try to picture in my mind the next boulder, and yeah.
And see how it goes. Well, if you climb like you did yesterday, you'll be in great shape in the finals. Good luck to you. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you out on the mats.
Yeah, see you later.
All right, everybody. I love that kind of stuff. That's super fun. We're going to wrap up the interviews here. We're going to head back into the booth with my co-host, Danaan Markey. He's going to take it from here, and I'm going to join you in just a couple of minutes. Stay tuned. Finals are just about to get underway, and I promise you, the boulders, they are beautiful.
Hello and welcome to the commentary booth. We've got a few more minutes now before finals are starting. Everyone's down there in their seats, and we thought we'd chat to a couple of more athletes, two of our semi-finalists from yesterday. We have Amber Schiffeleers and Angers Perhat. And both of you guys, how did you do yesterday? Was it tough? Amber, here, take the mic and tell us.
Well, I think it was a tough round. If you look at the scores, also it was a hard one. So yeah, I think it was a very tough round.
And Angers, how's your body feeling after it all?
I must say I'm not like as broken as I thought I would be. Although the rounds seemed to be pretty hard yesterday, and I was also struggling a lot on the blocks. So I was hoping to feel a little bit more broken, but I'm not, so that's a good thing.
So Amber, do you want to take us through how each boulder felt for you? Boulder number one, that was more of a technical corner.
Yeah, I think it was the slab of the round. I also think it was the easiest boulder of the round, the less physical one. Yeah, you just start in the corner and then work your way through around the volume and up.
I think we even have a quick replay of it, and we've got a selection of replays, but yeah, there is a shot now of you.
Yeah, so it was funny because I tried to put my foot on it and it didn't work, so I decided to put my heel and then switch to a foot, which worked perfectly. And then then the final hole was already there, so you didn't even have to stand up all the way in the other part of the volume. So that was nice one to start off the comp. Yeah.
And then after that, how was boulder number two?
Well, boulder number two was I found it so hard. I had some minor injuries, so the crimps were so hard. So yeah, then to do that one, it was very hard to move to the zone already itself. And then, if I look to the other athletes, the top part was even harder. Pinching these holds, the holds are, the texture part is very tiny, very thin. So I think that was a very physical one with a little jump in the middle. So I think that was very nice as well.
Third boulder?
Third boulder.
That looked like a killer.
Oh, that was so hard. Yeah, the big holes were super bad, like super slopey. I couldn't get to the start because my lack of toe hook skills. But yeah, the holes, they were huge and super cool holes. But I can't tell too much about my own experience in this boulder because I didn't climb so many moves in it.
But on the fourth, it looked like a bit of a heartbreaker. You were right there.
Yeah, I was right there. Yeah, my first attempt, it was just a lot of pressing in these volumes and fighting for your life to stay in the corner. But
everyone did something different. Everyone had their own way of pressing.
I think the main way was to start face outwards and then move your way, like turning around to face inwards. And then go to the zone and finish it up with the huge jump, which I tried statically and didn't work. So then in my second try, I had like 1 minute left and I was still super tired from the other try because you just have to keep pressing and you just were under so much tension like the entire time. So I stepped in with 1 minute and it took me even longer to get through it. And then I had six minutes when I was at the zone.
Yeah.
So I couldn't finish it anymore. So that was heartbreaking, but I think this was the coolest boulder from the entire comp yesterday. So I loved it.
Super crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And Angers, now men's round. How How did we start off? Control technique, as Vezi calls it.
Oh, okay. I would say like squeezy arete, like compression on the arete, and a little bit like some very specific movement, like wrapping the holds. And I would say, in my opinion, like it wasn't the easiest boulder to read.
Yeah.
At least for me. I'm usually very good at that stuff, but I kind of felt even the last tries when I was practically like falling on the top that I didn't have the right solution. So it felt weird. So yeah.
Tough one.
Tough one, yeah, definitely.
But the second one I think was maybe my favorite boulder to watch of the night. That looked like a absolute wrestling match with the big mint macros.
For sure, yeah. The second boulder was like a baby jump intro into a wrestling match. Then like fighting with the big volume. I got one shot when I got up there, but I actually didn't know what to do from that position.
Really?
I was feeling okay, but I couldn't move my body to do the last move, so I was kind of lost. But I saw Hannes do it, so it wasn't impossible.
It's hard to understand what Hannes did there, because particularly that right heel that everyone was putting in to go away, sloping away, so you were so close to just slipping off at every moment.
Maybe it was like a bit more like technical. You need to like get every movement right to top the boulder, and if you didn't, it just seemed super weird or hard.
Yeah. And then the third boulder, what were your thoughts there?
The third boulder was like the one that was like most simple, basic. Like it was like a kick jump into two kind of crimps, and then just a dynamic move to the top. So yeah, it wasn't hard to read, but it was still not an easy one to do.
It's that top section seemed to be a bit of a killer, because it was quite big holds, but you still had to really
for me the thing was the first super hold, like which was super slopey, and I really struggled to get some friction out of it, and you need to like you needed to pull really fast from the left hand to get the height for the underclink, which was the top. And yeah, if you manage to be super fast on the holder, like get the proper height, it didn't seem to be that hard. But while I was climbing, it seemed practically impossible.
Yeah, really.
I think it's a small line between like, okay, this felt quite easy, and wow, I'm far away from this.
Wow. And then the final boulder, that actually seemed to stump the whole crowd. Some athletes got close. What was your experience?
I was on the last one. I was a little bit confused as well.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't have a hard time starting the boulder, but then getting to the zone, I didn't figure the left drop knee, which some of the athletes did to get to the zone.
Yeah.
And I talked with the route setters, and they said that was the right solution. But for me, it somehow like didn't came into my mind to even try it. So I was just like falling on the zone all the time and didn't feel really close.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if anyone even did the top part.
No, so Hannes got quite close, hit the jug and slapped the arete to compress, but didn't have the time to get back there again. And actually, that first section seems quite complex, because everyone seemed to have to figure it out again every time
there were so many holds that you could use, and it was like not easy to decide which ones are good and which ones are not. So yeah.
Well, that is the word from the semi-finalists, who have been sadly defeated after yesterday's competition. But thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll let you get downstairs and watch the finals as they unfold. And thank you all for keeping an eye on us today. We're about to get started with the big event. I can actually hear the MCs on the floor hyping the crowd up. So why don't we cut away and let's meet our finalists down there on the floor. Yeah.
Je kunt aan mijn houding zien dat er wat voorbereid is heel groot.
Masters 2025!
Yes!
Are you ready to meet our athletes?
So right now, Mika M, you can come forward.
And then for the female climbers, we have Afra Hönig.
Mikael Mauwen. Yes.
And Katja Debevec. Come here, Katja.
Antoine Girard.
En dan onze zuiderbuur, Chloé Caulier.
And Arthur Rebollo.
And of course, Stasha.
Super popular. And all the way from Japan, Kaito Watanabe.
And a very warm welcome to Georgia Tezio.
And the last finalist, Hannes van Duysen.
And the best female qualifier, Selma El Haj Mimoun. These are our athletes. These are the climbers who are going to work really hard tonight and give it their all to provide for you a true sports spectacle. Let me check, because this is an official thing here. A big, big, big match. We have to check with the NKBV if everything's ready here.
Yes.
How's it looking, Chong?
Yes, we can go. Let's do a countdown together with you guys from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You may now check the boulder problems. So right now, what's happening, sis? I see only 3 boulders per category.
Ja, we zien hier klimmers inlezen. Dat is wel
are down there on the mat observing the boulder problems as per the rules. They get 2 minutes to check each climb, but we thought, why don't we get some expert opinions in the room rather than speculate like the rest of the athletes. So we have some clips of the boulders that we can play, and we've got Borella and Gregor Vezonik who have set these boulders and will give us the ins and outs of how they're going to work. So, male finals block number 1. Tell us, this looks tough.
Oh yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's a very obvious crimp fest at the beginning. I don't think it's going to be too hard to get to the zone. It's all about crimping, bad feet, and then once you get to the zone, it's just like you sort of start campusing, and the last move is kind of a swing to a sloper, and you have to stop the move with your foot to the wall. The second one is more slopey, very physical. You do the first move to an undercling.
This boulder looks like peak Vezi. Vezi hold, Vezi moves. I'm excited.
You have to, like, first move you stop on either on a small foothold or you just like smear, and then the rest is just like, very physical. Crushing it, nothing too fancy. And then the third one is French balance test. Probably like 3-4 betas to get to the zone. All of them are hard. All of them are complex. Once you get to the zone, it's hard to release the toe from the left. And then the top is more of more physical, but yet still technical. So very hard boulder.
No giveaways whatsoever. And I believe we're going to get to see the female boulders now as well. So Anna, take over.
Okay, this is a bit confusing at the beginning. You have a lot of volumes and different way to exit from the roof. The easiest one is to going feet first and then turn around your body. And then there is a powerful release outside the roof. double Gaston, and then puff puff into the underclings.
Love a double Gaston swing.
And this is the slab of the round.
It
Not
is
so
on an
slabby,
overhang.
but yeah, the less overhanging boulder of the round. And you just stand up on the first volume and then push into the 2 holes to reach the zone. You have to be really close to the wall to aim for the locked crimp and then just jump for the top. This is not slabby at all. But
this one
it's
looks
a
hard.
powerful release of the 2 hook in the first part, and then use mare on the right side of the wall, and then a press into the right, and then stand up on the left foot and aim for a crimp.
Fantastic. Okay, well,
Lot of balance.
are very, very excited. Any predictions for the round? Never give away the secrets.
It brings a luck.
It's
you
all
don't have
luck?
to say anything.
Okay, can't wait. Well, thank you guys so much for coming. And I think the athletes, they have just a couple of minutes left of observation. So we're going to sit tight until they're ready to go. Overall, do you think it's going to be harder or easier than last night?
To me, I hope that it will be a little bit easier than the semi-final.
It was a tough round, but actually...
Because it was on the limit.
The women's was tough, but the men's actually pretty close to on point. It looked hard, but Hannis had 3 tops still.
Yeah, well, we didn't see anyone top number 4. So number 4 was too complex.
Okay.
Sadly, yeah.
Close.
I thought it was exciting to watch, but we were like, I think just over the limit of it being too hard.
There. And another specific question. This is actually, I was speaking to Romain. It's a bit different to the Olympic style format of electric power, chord, balance. What setup do you have here tonight?
You want to talk about it, Hannah?
In the end, we just tried to give the most that we could, the most diverse comp that we could have with these profiles and these spaces. So maybe there is not so much about balance because in the end there is just one real slab in the space that we choose to use.
Lots of powerful boulders.
It means that you have to play with it, but if you have all steep wall, you cannot.
There we go. Yeah, use the steep wall because we have it. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. I'm going to let you go, and hopefully we're going to get back downstairs and see the action going down.
So what will happen next? The first 2 climbers, they will stay on the mat with us. And they can start when we give them the sign.
All right, back in the booth. Danaan, those are some good interviews. You got some really good insight. Love talking to climbers, of course, getting that first-hand experience of how, I mean, we know the semifinals boulders were brutally hard. So getting that first-hand experience, love it. And the insight from Anna and Vezi, just like really, really cool stuff. So you guys are going to be in for a treat on the finals boulders tonight. Absolutely. We have a really cool kind of mixed format, so we'll get to that. Right now, this is going to be your list coming out from 6th to 1st. Afra, Katja, Chloe, Stasha, Georgia, and then Selma. That's the order they're going to climb in for the first 3 boulders. And then on the men's side, we're going to have Michael, Antoine, Arthur, Kaito, and then Hannis, again, coming out 6th to 1st. In a comp like this, Dan, the gap between 6th and 1st is so slight that we're not expecting to see what we saw in the semifinals, which is boulders not getting done until the top 2 or 3 climbers. All 6 finalists are very capable of doing these boulders.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what's going to go on. Obviously, quite complex boulders, but brutally hard boulders as well. So we're going to separate the wheat from the chaff.
We might separate the wheat from the wheat at this point. There's not a lot of chaff in the finals.
That's a good point.
The point is well made. The point is well made. We do have to separate them. So a little bit of complexity, a little bit of power. The anti-slab could be the difference maker. It often is in this gym.
The overhanging slab. I can't wait to see that. There you go. There is definitely a bit of a general. People are thinking they want to see more basic, more powerful climbs in competitions, and we're definitely taking a step towards that direction. The route setting team has the caliber to do that. Not all teams can do that. So it'll be quite exciting to see how the climbers face these challenges and who's going to get up to the top of which climb.
Yeah, absolutely. And interesting that you point that out is if you've been watching World Cup climbing for the last couple of years, you're almost always going to see kind of a piff-paff, a 1, 2, 3, maybe like a slab run, a no hands. We've had complex boulders, but we haven't had that kind of movement. So it is almost a bit of a throwback in some sense to grabbing holds.
Yeah, and I think like there was a reason that the events moved in that direction to have some more spectacular views, and we got a lot more people into the sport. But now we have people in the sport and they understand how hard it is, and so they can actually appreciate these more basic things in climbing, and that's what we're really excited to see now.
Yeah, absolutely. We're just about to get underway. You can see Afra and Michael standing on the mats. 4 minutes plus is our format tonight, so they get 4 minutes as soon as they start the boulder. But the plus means as long as they pull onto the start holds before the clock hits 0, they can finish that attempt. So we're absolutely going to see climbers pulling on with that 2 seconds to go and try and get that last try, best try send. All of the coaches in the room, of course, are hoping that they do it on the first or second try, but sometimes that desperation really kicks in and we see some exciting stuff.
A really good angle here of Misha. It's just flat overhang, bad crimps.
Bad crimps. I mean, that's as basic as it gets in terms of hold selection, but then you still have to be able to squeeze. Afra getting into the double Gastons with relative ease.
She's up there quick. Now these 2 big holds are very slopey. That one on the right actually has a blocker behind it, so you cannot get into the jug. There's not a second break when you're on that hold.
And that's something that it'll be hard to see on the camera. We won't necessarily get back there, but when we say blocking holds, they've put another hold sort of inside behind that one. You can kind of get a look at it there, and it basically just shrinks the usable space of a hold that you would otherwise be used to grabbing.
Yeah, and you can see here this crimp climb on the right, also blocked holds, and that's for a different reason. So sometimes you shrink the usable space. This reason is about precision, so you cannot throw above the hold and fall onto it. You have to hit it exactly right, and that left-hand move that Michael's going up for, that's a dead point. Your whole body has to move the exact right height before it starts coming down from the jump to find the crimp and latch it properly.
Yeah, it's both my most favorite as a commentator and as a fan, and my least favorite as a climber trend in route setting is to put blocking holds for accuracy, because I like going a little too high and then dragging my way back down onto crimps like that. So the stab makes it quite difficult. You know, and it's tactics. The climbers are so good. They're so good at movement patterns. They're so clever that route setters have been digging deeper and deeper. There we go.
Stuck it.
Makes it work. And then another big dead point.
Just about.
Now footless.
Oh, Misha, he's pulled through. Can he lock that left hand in enough?
Oh, the left foot too. Trying to find Perch is still on. Afra in the Gastons again. Pixie kick. Oh my goodness, what an exciting ball.
Oh no.
Oh, that landing on the mats like that and staying there. Oh my goodness.
Afra not feeling good on that right hand sloper. She's setting up again, trying to bring the hips in a bit more, but was not enough, and you can see a bit of defeat in the face there.
Yeah,
1 minute left to do that again.
Yeah, you still have to go up. Look at here, just trying to find momentum, getting this pixie kick, that right leg generating momentum, getting up high enough.
Yeah, just not having the coordination, getting the hold on, the hand on the hold, the foot on the wall, but you could see his right shoulder hadn't locked in quick enough. That was where the break in the chain was, unfortunately, and I think he's going to be dreading having to do all of that again to get up there.
Dropping tops and that, you know, missing the last hold. It's excellent climbing to get to the top of a boulder, but that feeling, as you say, when you're standing on the mat, it's like, oh my goodness, I have to do all of those moves again. And you know, they sort of think, oh my goodness, I have to do them, but they also want to do them.
Yeah.
They definitely, everybody wants the top boulders. No one's going to give up on anything tonight. Afra going all out, and you see the power, just sort of the reserves run down when you're working that hard out of the gate.
Keeled over.
Oh, the crowd is encouraging one more.
The 4+, so
yeah,
there we go.
She said no, and the crowd talked her into it.
Now we're gonna see
Doc Masters peer pressure at work. Into the plus now for both Misha and Afra. Getting the swap.
Here's the crux for Misha.
Almost. And Afra just absolutely out of gas. What we get here in this format, though, Danaan, is we get about 20 minutes of rest. So the boulders can be harder. They can be more physical. They go back to isolation. They hang out. And they have as much time as it takes the other 5 climbers to do the boulder. So sometimes that's maybe 8 minutes, but sometimes it's the full 20 plus. So you don't ever really know, but you're banking on at least an extra 10 minutes, you know, especially over the 5-on, 5-off format.
That is something the route setters always have to consider when setting a round. It's how fatigued are the athletes? How much climbing have they done in the build-up to this? And after yesterday's semi-final, they're pretty fatigued.
Yeah, Mika M and Katja Debevic out now, and both Stasha and Mika were saying that after such a hard semi-final round, they both felt quite tired. You have to adapt the way you approach the day today to get ready for your finals round, and Stasha was saying that instinct takes over and you just push through. You know, it's hard to warm, it's hard to start warming up because all of your muscles are sore, but then you just need to make it happen.
Stasha, a woman of instinct, won't let go if she can't.
Exactly. And Mika just testing out that opening crimp move. So even sort of getting out of the established start position, the feet are, you know, just a bit awkward. Katja making good progress into the Gastons.
Big swing, double Gaston.
That's great for the shoulders.
Oh, the jury's pulling Misha off the climb.
Doesn't like the fact that he didn't get both feet. You do have to touch both feet onto that one hold where the 2 pieces of tape are. You need to be established. 1 limb per piece of tape. That's how the rules go. You have to be established before you can leave the start position. Also, making better purchase on the sloper.
A little bit, getting that hand up high to slap, but still not quite enough. There's going to be a lot of bicep involved in there.
It's one thing to hold a hold. It's quite another to move out of it with any type of upward progress.
And Mikhail, I called him Misha before, but it's Mikhail, Mr. Moem.
Dry firing off of that right-hand crimp.
Getting up a bit closer, and it is slightly more the style that he said he's better at, so will be exciting to see. It seems to be there's a bit of a breakthrough moment and then fight to the finish.
Yeah, once you get, as you were saying, the dead point, you have to get it just right as we watch Katja sort of swinging around to get established. Moving into this big right-hand sloper. I even love that, just that little extra twist of the right foot, trying to get the rubber to bite as much as possible. You start to notice the really, really small adjustments the longer you spend watching competition climbing, even like small shoulder and hand adjustments from one attempt to the other, and even, you know, when you're on the hold. You don't want to readjust a lot, right? The second guesses, the half hitches, you don't want that so much, but
pumping the hold, it's called sometimes. Yeah. Give it some pumps.
I call that a double clutch. That's a North
double clutch.
Double clutch. Yeah, you go and then you go again.
You're very, very behind if that's what the double clutch is.
Almost looked like she was trying to find a bit of a knee there.
Maybe there is a knee.
And Mika's letting the clock run down a little bit, just kind of letting that.
You can see he's looking at the finish. He's like, okay, if I get through the start, I'm not going to mess it up.
Do the whole thing. You see him looking at that right hand, like it let him down just a little bit on that opening crimp move. Having a good look at the clock. Maybe going to head out, but yeah, 1 minute, and it's going to give himself a one try. 30 seconds later.
And it will be interesting to see how many wait for the... Oh, a toe hook.
A little sneaky toe.
Was nearly enough there.
Yeah.
But it will be interesting to see how many wait for that plus attempt, because it's such a big part of training as an athlete to time your attempts, and you learn to do it not over days, over seasons, and so it's quite embedded that they need to finish their last attempt by 4 minutes, and it will be a bit of a conscious decision tonight to take a bit longer to rest and gear up for that 4+ attempt.
Yeah, it's been maybe 8 years now since we've left 4+ in international climbing, at least. It's been a long time since we've been at 4 minutes flat. So yeah, as you say, the competition memory is to get everything done. But here we are. Katja and Mika up. Is he going to try it again? He is. Just not enough power.
Not managing that crimp. I do know it's possible. We've seen Misha get through. And Katja now in the business of this climb.
There's the feet low this time. Oh, trying to go up double. So taking a different approach on the last attempt. Sometimes it works out in your favor.
I don't know about that. That's going to be tough.
That's definitely extra burl to get up there.
Already so overhanging. Definitely give it a go going up double, but your body's going out way more than it's going up. And you need to be in close if you're going to stick the double clutch.
No, that's not a double clutch. Don't get it twisted.
What do we call it? A Canadian double clutch?
A double clutch is when you wind up and then you reset, then you wind up and go again. It's a double clutch.
And what did Katja do?
That was just a double.
The double.
Just trying to go double. Chloé Caulier and Antoine Girard stepping out for their first attempts. And you know that's the boulder that's freshest in their mind after their preview. And you're either dreading coming out to start the first boulder or you're excited depending on whether or not it aligns with your style.
Yeah, let's see. Antoine looked quite good on the more basic, powerful section, so I'm quite excited to see how he manages this.
Oh, I thought he was going to keep that toe as well, but
Very
clean.
Floated up. You see that little second before latching the hold. Foot slip though.
Yep. Just get a quick brush in there. The universal sign for help me out. Good brushing crew of volunteers here at Boulder Hall Energiehaven.
Chloe on the left, definitely a powerful athlete.
Kept that toe up for a really long time.
We're going to see her fight pretty hard through this section.
Very nice. Getting up quite deep into the sloper.
Trying to rock right so the weight's under.
Almost.
A bit low. A lot of information to process after an attempt like that. Relatively speaking, she would have been fresh up there and given it her best, and she has to figure out, okay, what do I do differently now?
And there's so many things, Danaan. Is it a more push from the foot? Is it more pull from the hand? Is it a shift in the hips? Is it farther? Sometimes you're too close to the wall. It's not always get your hips all the way in. Sometimes you need to be out a little bit to generate in a different way. And as you say, they have to process that information standing on the ground. And then as Georgia was saying, in isolation, you have to decide whether to go to plan B or whether to stick with plan A. You saw Katja go to plan, J. You skipped a few.
Antoine now doing beautiful float move. No pop foot this time. I think he's going to look pretty strong through these next moves.
Boy, such good control there with that high foot. Just fighting to keep it on the little jib. Antoine gets both hands.
That was all right.
The crowd hears, lets him hear it. Really good stuff from Antoine. I love that he went two hands to the finish. Really crisp climbing.
A lot more commitment to just throw off with that left hand as well.
Yeah.
But you could see he was so much more comfortable on those crimps. And when you are more comfortable, you have more headspace to think about what you're going to do for that next move.
Yeah. I mean, he held the right hand almost in a lock-off into the crossover, which is hard when you're basically campusing. So that's a really good display of power.
I think Misha did campus most of it. It was just forgo the feet, take the crimps and bear down.
Good look at the bicep pull. This is a great angle of this boulder. It is the steepest part of the wall. I mean, that's overhanging 50 degrees in there. Making this transition is, stout.
Stout's a very adequate word right now for what we're about to witness.
Yeah, she gets just a little half shake. Can't spend too much time fighting for the best spot.
See that blocker going for the reverse.
Oh, is she trying?
Yeah, that right hand's going up higher.
Oh my goodness.
Skip it.
Getting bendy. Yes, gets it.
She's still on.
Oh, wow. Wow, that was interesting.
That is a me with a bad knee.
Yeah.
Fearful.
Yeah. Is she going to walk?
It looks like she's going to call it.
Looks like she's going to call it.
Aware of how much energy it's going to take to get there again, and that she's got 3 more boulders to do tonight.
That's true. That is true. So that gives us a little breathing space before Stasha and Artur come out.
Maybe it is tactical to give the other athletes less rest.
Yeah. Shorten that span up. Oh, stone cold from someone who at all other times was just a laugh a minute. That's great from Artur. That's really good stuff. And they're just waiting for their cue to head to the mats. I like it. Stasha, I mean, at this point, almost a hometown favorite for Doc Masters.
Yeah, she seems to be the hometown favorite anywhere she goes.
Yep, and she is your reigning 2-time champion. It doesn't matter where she is in the finals field. You don't count Stasha out just because of her experience is almost unmatched in this field on the women's side.
In this field, certainly. But again, she was saying she's transitioning out of comps right now, so not fighting fit, but still able to put in such a great performance.
Ooh, good stuff from Artur as well.
Not the same float as Antoine, but he
a little more fight.
holds on real good.
There are no pictures on the scorecard, Danaan. Just got to get the work done. Looking really good here. Does he have the timing?
Oh, he does.
Does for a flash.
That's good stuff.
That's excellent stuff from the young Frenchman.
Stasha encountering the same problem as every other athlete so far. So it'll be really exciting to see if someone is going to break through here. We're already just past halfway through the field, so not many more chances to see someone make a top of this boulder.
Oh, and interestingly now, one thing that is different about a finals format is they do share isolation. So they're going to see Artur come back after only 2 minutes. Even if he says nothing, they know that he flashed the boulder. A really good look here. He also elects to go 2 hands. You see him looking at the wall for the foot almost more than where he wants his hands to go.
That foot hit the wall before the hand did, which not easy to do if you think just about jumping for any ledge. You don't aim with your feet.
No, that's really good coordination from Artur. And that sends a message to the field. It's like, oh yeah, I flashed that boulder. And, you know, they're all pretty friendly back there in isolation, but they don't necessarily all talk to each other. You saw them previewing earlier. They definitely preview as a group. They share beta with each other, but you maybe share a little bit more with your friends. You know, people that you trust their climbing style. You trust their opinion a little bit more. Should we go left hand? Should we go right hand? Stasha getting that, climbing into that left toe. As Anna was saying, you got options to exit that roof.
Yeah, lots of options. Definitely quite confusing to see so many different holes in front of you and deciding the best one to grab. Now, she did do that without taking a swing.
Oh, drove straight up. So instead of going to the right for that right foothold, a little bit more underneath, a little bit more straight up. That looked pretty good.
Looked good, but whether or not it's going to be enough, you can see she's every athlete so far has looked quite defeated coming out on that boulder. And same as we had yesterday in semi-finals, it wasn't until Selma came out and showed us all how it was done.
Exactly. But I do know Stasha, as much as anybody, would prefer hard boulders that are maybe not going to get topped than around where everybody's flashing boulders.
Oh, definitely,
So,
yeah.
although, you know, you are in the moment, you're frustrated that it's a boulder that you can't seem to figure out. She's going to be happier climbing stout, hard boulders.
Yep, many athletes are not fond of the flash rounds. And so having a hard climb, and it's the same in lead format as well, people are preferring harder climbs that are going to put them off rather than being done by flashes or time.
And some of that is because they get to show how good they really are. You know, flashing boulders, it's hard to tell who's you know, having a better day because everyone's just topping the boulder. So you get to see, you know, a little bit more progress here, an extra hold there. You get to see who's brought the guns.
Who's brought the guns? I like it.
All right.
Now, let's see if Stasha's brought the guns.
Full focus. I promised you the beginning of this boulder is harder than they're making it look.
Stasha's a really good sequence, though. through this section. She did it without any feet cuts, which is going to save her a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Now setting up, let's see, is she jigging her hands? Is she going to try a different method? Same method as before.
Oh, just cannot get the purchase on that right-hand sloper.
Not getting up there, but really good attempt from Stasha.
A rueful shake of the head. Georgia Testio and Kaito Watanabe are second to last climbers.
Exciting athletes to see. Georgia has actually been extremely impressive, both in semifinals and in qualifiers. She was one of two athletes in the whole field to fight the red slab, as we called it. And now, not exactly a technical boulder in front of her, but
we'll see if she can just bear down.
Let's see if she can bear down.
And Kaito, who is much more of a route setter than he is a competition climber. We were chatting about outside, and he said, you know, that as a route setter, you do get to see movement a little bit maybe easier than competition climbers do because you spend so much time building movement.
I think Kaito's going to have no problem with this climb. Spoke too soon, potentially, but maybe potentially.
He showed so much reserve power yesterday. He's going to campus that.
Why would you put your feet on?
Yeah.
He's still swinging.
Yeah.
Let's see, is he going to gear up? Oh, easy.
That foot is so high on. Oh, that was really good flash from Kaito.
Well, called it. Risky job in the commentary booth.
It can be.
I felt strong about it.
It was a good call. It was a good call.
But George is looking quite tucked in there.
Sort of tested the sloper and.
Going for the double.
Came to
the Canadian clutch.
No. I'm going to write it down for you. No. Just a standard double.
But you could see that she was able to get her hips like much higher and deeper into the wall there. So maybe there's another chance that smaller athletes can figure out a different way.
And you did see her go and test the sloper first and decide, and that's something she mentioned when we were chatting in ISO, is that sometimes you change your mind on your sequencing when you're on the boulder, and sometimes you just push through with your first instinct and then see what happens. If you get kicked off, you try it again. But there she sort of went out and tested it, and then looked like we won't know if her initial idea was to go double or she changed her mind. But definitely that little, just go see how bad it is. Like, no, it's bad. I'm gonna
It's bad.
This instead.
Guys, it's bad.
Guys, everyone, it's bad. See her taking that forced rest, sitting down on the mat. All the climbers behave in finals a little bit differently. I love this part of it, the mental side of finals, how to be able to stay focused, how to get knocked down over and over and over again and still come back and try really hard. Some of them sit down on the mat, some of them face the boulder, some of them face out from the boulder. Some of them close their eyes. Like, everyone has a slightly different approach when they're trying to regroup between attempts.
Georgia, let's see, is she going to take a swing through this crux, or has she got a different method like Stasha? Oh, she does the swing. Lots of energy lost there, but might be strong enough to give it away and still have more.
Looking at that left-hand side.
Oh, also looking at the heel.
Maybe they talked about that. Oh, sticks it. Oh my goodness, climbing over your hip like that is going to be so difficult, but she does stick it.
That is a tough. Let's see, minute left. She knows she's got one final plus attempt, and she's going to wait right until the last moment to be
down,
fully ready. But is she going to try the same beta, different beta? That's the big question. Look at the angle that knee goes. And then she gets the left hand up, and then right as the right hand comes up, the knee twists.
Oh my goodness! Ends up ejecting. Yeah, very.
Yeah, just maybe that was a safety mechanism. Eject. We can't manage these angles.
It's too much torque. But the creativity that you see from World Cup level climbers this time of climbing is sometimes they just turn on instinct. You're like, I think this is going to work. Sort of to heck with it.
It is entirely possible that they have the flexibility and can twist around that much. And we've seen it done many times. I remember Salt Lake City World Cup was 2 crazy knee rockovers like this and a couple of injuries afterwards, but they did do the move.
Just barely getting fingertips to that zone hold. And now with the clock at zeros, it's this or nothing. Goes to the sloper, looks strong in it. No, that right foot again, just collapsing into the mat.
Defeat from Georgia, but a great attempt. We essentially have completely consistent scoring on this first boulder now, so it'll either come down to the next 3 boulders or Selma's going to show us something pretty amazing.
Something special. Selma El Haj Mimoun and Hannis Verdasco. We were talking about how well Selma climbed across the semifinals boulder.
Destroyed it.
Absolutely crushed. Still quite young, only 20 years old. And was, I mean, youth world champion just in 2023. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, the youth level competition series is super high end, and being a youth world champion is often a sign of future success.
Yep. Interesting to see. Hannah is usually more of a dynamic climber, so how's he going to float between these crimps? Looking pretty casual.
The right foot lets go, but he hangs on.
Definitely strong enough to do it.
Yeah. And Selma just getting a little sequence wrong.
Easy peasy.
Really good stuff from Hannis. So necessary, the top 3 men flashing that boulder.
Selma,
super important.
Dropping off on that first move, I think that actually puts her in last place now, unfortunately.
Yeah, attempts to zone.
I believe everyone got to that zone on their first attempt, so she's going to have to make it up somehow.
Yeah, we'll be talking about it in a minute after this attempt about how the scoring works for those of you who aren't super familiar. We'll get Selma up to this zone this time, so she's going. You saw Georgia go toes first and Stasha. She's just going to go straight out the roof. Right hand, it's not that good.
No.
Holds the Gaston swing.
Left hand is worse. Now let's keep an eye. Here's the crux everyone's come off in.
Goes out and tests it. Looks so close to a knee scum. Oh, makes it work! Oh my goodness, you can hear the crowd in the background. She knows that no one's done that move just by the crowd noise alone. Does she have enough?
Oh, it's very close right now.
Oh, finding a toe hook. Don't bust the right hand. Selma Mimoun, what have you got?
Trying to get the heel in.
Oh my goodness.
Not enough.
The slow extension just coming up, she's backing all the way into the wall behind her.
Poor Selma. Oh, after all that, she is still technically in last place.
Yes. Yeah, you don't get points for not grabbing the top. But look at this. Just trying to find the right purchase. You don't want to have to use the right hand, but couldn't find the balance point.
Look at how she tries to get the toe hook in and how far back that's pushing her.
And then recovers it.
Tries the other side.
The amount of extra.
I'll knock on the back door, see if anyone else is there.
And no.
And then why don't we go for a third one? Let's put a heel in.
Yeah, and then we'll just go a little sneaky half drop. No, doesn't like that. So in 4 different attempts.
So you can see that heel, it's just the hold is angled away in a direction that's not gonna oppose the heel well at all. Unfortunately, not enough to stick, but
impressive rock climbing. Absolutely impressive rock climbing. She's gonna let that clock. Oh, I thought she was gonna go all the way down, but no, she's gonna give herself enough time here to maybe have a slip and recover, or just knows that it's a bit of a longer climbing boulder for her with the amount of time she hung out up there.
Let's just see. This will likely be impressed if she had another attempt after this, and we have to see what she's going to have learned from that last attempt, or does she even still have the strength?
I was going to say, what you've learned, she does. What you've learned and what you've got left in the tank. Now she's going to make a much quicker decision.
Yep, the theory is go.
Oh, hand on it. Right on top. A brush means she's going to try one more time. She's going again.
Now we're into questioning, okay, is she going to be, maybe she'll get the top on this, but she might have really tired herself out for the next boulders.
We'll find out.
This
seconds.
Is quite dramatic.
It is.
Moves from Selma.
As long as you get your feet up off the mat. All right, and sometimes the adrenaline here, you'll watch a climber fumble a move just because your heart rate goes up really high when you're trying to rush back onto a boulder. No time to recover. Selma Mamoon.
Oh, deep
holds
in the
it. Look at that right hand.
Not a lot of energy. Let's see if she can do this. 2 moves up. That right arm needs to lock in really, really hard. It's actually taking some time to rest, aware of the pump. Okay,
into the sloper.
Here's the crux.
Not enough gas to get into the undercling. Wow, that's really good climbing from Selma. However, it's going to leave her at the same place that she was after her first attempt.
Brutal from the format here that Selma, unfortunately, clearly being ahead of the rest.
All right, a quick look at our men's standings. So that's, ignore the zeros, but Hannis and then Kaito, Artur, followed by Antoine, who needed an extra attempt, and then Mikael and Michael, who only got zones. And we'll see, we'll bring up the women's in a minute. What we care about, of course, in all climbing formats is number of tops and then number of zones. And then if that's tied, then we look at number of attempts that took you to get to the top and number of attempts that it took to get to the zone. So what Danaan was saying earlier was that all of the women flashed to the zone. So they all got a zone in 1 try, but Selma got to the zone on 2nd try. So here we go. Here are the current standings. So Hannis with a flash, Kaito with a flash, Artur with a flash, and then Antoine atop on his 2nd try. Michael with a zone, and then Mika unable to get to the zone, maybe favoring that left hand, the injury that he was playing with. And then so you see all the women here with a 1 attempt to zone, and Selma just down at the bottom, you see that 2 on the right-hand side, that's 2 attempts to zone. The yellow bar is the zone, the green block is a top. So hopefully that gets you caught up on the scoring if you're not a habitual competition fan.
Something to note as well, all athletes that get a top or zone in the same number of attempts, then it's count back to semis.
Yeah, and that's what the route setters are hoping, to have no ties, and then at least they're hoping there were no ties coming out of the semis. So often you hear them say when they have a clean sheet out of semis that they have a little bit of extra creative freedom in the final, because they're a little bit less worried if there's a tie somewhere. They've got a clean count back to deal with. Afra Hönig, Mikael Ruaz back out on the mats, and our look at boulder number 2. The men's boulder is just burly.
That was what we saw Mikael do, not easy whatsoever, and then struggling through the match. With that first, you basically lock off on a right undercut and kill the swing with your feet and then go further up.
And the left hand, as we just watched Afra just sort of solving the opening, leaving the start holds, the hold that he's brushing right or just below, the left hand that he goes to, where your thumb is all no texture. So there's friction where your fingers are, and then right across the seam of where kind of your palm meets your thumb, it goes to no text. So that, you know, you're not getting the thumb purchase on what would otherwise be an okay open fat pinch. So
really interesting hold set from Vezi. He's been quite maybe abstract's the word, maybe alternative of where to put the no texture part. Some of the holds have no texture exactly where you think there should be.
Exactly where there should be, not where you want, where you absolutely should have texture.
So that just sets a completely new challenge for the athletes that they've got to learn and understand.
Kills it this time, getting a little bit deeper into the undercling.
Uh-oh, Mika's up. How's he gonna get over left?
And you see Afra getting really wide stance.
Oh, wow.
It can be tricky to exit, tough to generate momentum, especially when there's not a lot to grab.
She stood past the designated foot. You could see.
Oh, and just the little slip. Those volumes stacked like that, they're still quite a shallow angle. You're definitely not putting a lot of downward pressure. A little bit too much, as you see there, in immediate slip.
Yeah, exactly. And this is technically the slab. It's on an overhanging wall. The volumes push the center of gravity out enough so that you kind of climb it like a slab, but No, you're not. It's not a walk in the park, as they say.
No, not at all. And you see that when you have so many volumes, when you just have 2 or 3 footholds, the route setters are basically telling you put your foot right here and right here. On the volumes, they're saying you can put your foot anywhere on this 4 by 2 meter space. It's up to you. And you can get it wrong only by, a handful of centimeters, and you're not going to be able to reach, or you're not going to be able to leave the position. So volume climbing on that kind of angle, really stressful for decision making. Not being able to get that next move. You see the power running down almost already after 2 attempts.
Let's see Afra now. She wants to get over to that zone without releasing the feet, but
left foot, half a shift, zip, out, and it's just brushing that down. Big underclings like that, they sap more than just bicep power. You've got to squeeze so hard to pull in and keep moving. Those are some of the more tiring moves out there.
Yeah, you've got to pull with your bicep, your whole body weight, but then pushing up into the climb as well. So the rest of your body's trying, and then you have to oppose that additional energy of you pushing up into the undercut. So much more than just body weight. You're locking off with the bicep.
Yeah, that's a really good distinction you made there, is that when you go with more power, you have more power that you have to be able to control. And Afra is going to just make it back onto the wall. She's going to have a little bit of time. On a climb like this, she can recover.
Trying to get some chalk. Misha's up
back to the zone.
The right hand, not enough to come out though.
He tried it with the left, easily established but couldn't leave. And that was his best attempt, going right hand to the zone. Afra, just deciding that the right thing to do is to make a bit of a committing move across to that side pull. Commitment is one of the tools that route setters use to make climbers second guess themselves. They're like, it's right there. You just have to go further than you want to go. And the climbers who are ready to commit to being out of balance but being uncomfortable are the ones that are going to be successful.
Exactly.
And sometimes it takes you a couple of attempts to measure. You're like, oh, that's far. Oh, it's still far. And then you're like, okay, now I know how far it is, and I have to make this commitment decision.
Yeah, learned move, as it's called. But let's see if that's the method, or if Katja can find another way.
Mika M. This is normally a boulder that I would say is 100% in his style. We'll see how he's doing fitness-wise. That's a great look at the undercling.
Wow.
Shallow. Oh my goodness.
Wow. You were right about his style. That is insane.
A hop. No text jump coming up. He's going to go low.
He needs to find something to get himself set up.
Look at that.
Oh, wow. Trying to stand in the no text parts didn't work, but so impressive.
Still got upward momentum off the no text, but just really clean up into those tight, high, strong positions. Oh, look at this. Katja going, getting that reach dialed in. This is a really fun climbing boulder.
Right now it's getting tenuous. Scary right hand bump. Couldn't find it. Blocked again.
Blocked. Brush that, please. And brush this one, please. Yeah, all of it. Just brush the whole thing. Thank you. Yeah.
But she could find a way to reach over to that zone statically. And as the right foot is defined, it's all about where your left foot is on that volume, and can you put it in the right place. You can oppose those downward facing palms on the left and lean far enough right to the zone.
And look at this. He still gets upward momentum. That's crazy. As his feet were both slipping.
You know the actual heartbreaking part, that top left hand hold, Desi has put no texture on the exact part that you grab. So I am terrified looking at it. Even if he gets up there and puts his hand all the way around the hold, like, you have to really grab it in the right way to stick it.
Yeah, you're going to get surprised if you don't know the hold and if you can't quite see it from the ground. It makes me think of a time where we used to re-pour well-known shapes in competitions. So climbers who, you see how difficult the transition is, so able to do it once but not a second time.
Yeah, and you could see there her left foot was very high and right on that volume. So much more difficult to hold. You want to be down and as far out from the wall as possible, but that was what was required to be able to lean right to the zone.
The distance needs to come from being higher up, but the comfort comes from being farther out. Yeah, we used to pour tweaks to well-known holds, so that climbers from the ground would be like, oh, I know that hold, but they would make the sloper worse, or the in-cut shallower, or the pinch wider, and you'd go to it and be quite surprised on your first attempt.
Oh, wow, very exciting.
Yeah, I hope no really cool stuff.
Whole companies are watching and listening to this.
Yeah, I would bring that back. I would say Pusher was the first to do that. They did them for the PCA comps. They would re-pour. They're really well-known shapes. It was just a really cool time in route setting. There wasn't a lot of hold companies.
Such a fight from Katja.
Just getting it a full finger extension.
You see she's ready. She wants to get on again, but probably worth accepting the 30-second rest and taking that 4+ attempt.
Mika's going to take it all the way down. So he's just going to take 2 attempts on this boulder, which can be really hard to convince yourself to do.
He did something magical through the start. I want to see the other athletes. Are they going to do as an impressive a feat as Mr. Mawem did?
Give me a little help. Yeah,
because that looked insane.
A little help from the crowd. And back on the wall. Boom, into the undercling.
There he is. He's up already.
Big hands, actually. Wow. Inch for him on the zone probably feels pretty good. And this one.
Oh, the double.
Oh, he crossed to it. Oh, he crossed to it.
Oh, my dear Lord. I thought he was going to go double.
I thought so, too. Wow, that would have been an insane stick. Katja just unable to make it work to that zone again. So got there early and then could not repeat. Wow, the boulders are not giving it away tonight.
Big commitment there.
Wow, that was spicy. I love it. That's what we get in the finals. That's what you get at Dock Masters. Clever setting, and then sometimes out-of-the-box rock climbing. Mika M. That was wild.
Looked at his head and was like, wait a second.
Yeah, as soon as you saw the angle, where are you doing? What are you going?
That's not where the hold is.
God, you get these little hints. You're like, wait, just 1 second. Chloé Caulier and Antoine Girard back out onto the mat. 4 minutes.
Antoine, just the stability that he showed on that first climb. These are the power crimp and power sloper climbs of the round, and I'm really excited to see if he has that same power on slopers as opposed to just crimps.
Yeah, it's interesting. Back to back, you have like fundamentally different hold styles, but the same kind of powerful climbing.
Yeah.
And then the women, fundamentally different types of climbing from the first to the second boulder. Antoine getting a little hug.
Looking good.
Yes, looking good. Now the uncomfortable foot placements as we watch Chloé slowly work her way across the volumes.
Antoine not deciding which toe hook to go for. Really difficult. We saw Mika get here as well. Not figure out how to get through.
That's really... Oh, he makes it stick.
Still on, but no texture to jump from.
Oh, my goodness. Chloé Caulier making progress, making a little adjustment. Can she get this crimp?
No, the foot goes.
Wow.
The foot goes. She was on a volume. Just slipped there.
Love the commitment. Antoine, you think sometimes maybe you don't.
Here we go.
Yes, here we go.
Watch this.
Look, you can see where his head is pointing.
Right.
Oh, and maybe that's the no-tex inside there.
If it was textured, he would have grabbed it.
Yeah. He's anytime they do wild moves, they are definitely thinking they can stick it. You know, they're rarely just jumping at, personal injury risk for the heck of it. So he thought he could do it.
Mm-hmm. You saw that. The hand went all over the top, but didn't stop. Just kept moving.
Just kept gliding across.
2 minutes left, so athletes will have multiple attempts in this climb. We watched Mika just wait until right at the end before having his second attempt. I wonder if Antoine will do the same, or maybe he's got gas in the tank for another attempt soon.
And it'll be interesting to see if what he's learned from the first attempt on the foot options, if he's going to go straight back to the toe hook, which is very sketchy. He did make it stick, but there's nowhere to jump from. So do you have to reverse back down to the start hold to jump from, even though it's further? It's so hard to tell what the right unlock is going to be. Chloé just... And climbs like this, they burn time, so you know that you get all the way past the zone, and it took you a minute of climbing to get there. Now that limits your attempts, you know, in a completely different way than a really powerful boulder is going to limit your attempts where you're waiting for recovery. You could jump back on this boulder right away, but you're still only going to get 2, maybe 3 attempts if you're getting close to the... And look at that left arm!
The shake.
Oh my goodness, it was turned almost all the way out.
That was hard. It's not a slab, but it's amazing to see how physically hard someone can try on a vertical climb.
Wow. And the amount of pressure that you're putting up into your palm is, as you were mentioning earlier, like similar to this men's boulder, where look at the left hand, watch the left palm.
And now the shake starts. The right knee shakes, the left foot comes off, tries to oppose, and now the left.
Just unable to generate. The harder you push up into that undercling, you've got to oppose that in your feet. And that, a small chip and a bad sloper onto one. Not enough. Did he get back on?
I don't know if that was in time. Definitely no energy to go again.
Yeah, I love that he at least tried the bounce and go. Wow, that was some very exciting climbing for there's a couple of dogs that have been hanging out at Dock Masters. That was one of them.
We've seen a few dogs on the social medias. Dog Masters.
Dog Masters.
It's not that funny.
It's pretty funny. Pretty funny. Stasha and Artur Robolo. It's our youngest finalist, Artur. Still a teenager. Climbed with tons of energy yesterday. Yeah, bounced around.
Bounced around on the first boulder as well. See, he didn't have the stability of the other athletes, but so strong in the fingers, he didn't need it.
Let's see if he's got the same open hand, sloper and pinch strength.
Left toe rather than a heel. He's looking kind of comfortable up there. Is that going to bring him across better than the heel hook? It looks so, yes. Stasha, touch in the zone.
Electing to go pretty calmly.
Okay, we're looking good from both athletes. Oh, from Stasha on the left.
Artur getting into the realization that none of the feet are... Oh, yes! Artur Robolo. Fantastic flash of boulder number 2. Just trusted the outside of the zone. The first couple of climbers just decided wasn't worth it.
That is hard to do. Foot completely horizontal. All of the holds you're using are sloping. That was extremely hard to do.
He's going to send that message a second time back into ISO. Guess what? I flashed the second one too. Stasha making this reach. You can see the effort that she's expending.
Gets the left foot a little bit better.
Doesn't like the bump.
Not comfortable right now.
And then just disappearing out of the frame. That's how quickly the feet let go. And when you're not able to pull down on it, there's zero recovery. When you're pressing up into an undercling and a side pull, if your feet slip, you're not just going to suddenly grab and recover. In a lot of boulders where you're able to pull down or pull out, if your feet slip, you have that half second where you can re-squeeze. But here, if you're out, you're out. This right toe, he doesn't like it.
Gets the toe hook to go up with the right hand. And then here, you're compressing so close together and above your head. And then that right toe, super high, super hard to generate power from it, but looks around, doesn't find a better option, and thinks, okay, we're going for this.
Yeah, it's this or nothing.
Releases the left and then still has the energy to go. So impressive.
Even just the sag, you saw when he engaged that right foot, how much it was pressing in. My goodness, what a powerful move. Stasha back up.
I think keep an eye on that left palm. That is the killer.
Yeah. And she was saying her thumbs were pumped after the pinchy boulder from yesterday. So she was pumped in the thumbs and now maybe pumped in the bottom of the palm.
Looking fatigued and beaten. It is hard to keep a good headspace after we're fighting for zones now, all through semis and now halfway through finals. Tough round all over.
So maybe enough time for 2, but she's hoping she's only gonna need 1. Really taking that side pull. And just can't. She stayed with that crossover instead of a foot swap. She likes that.
The foot there. Now we've got a third type of block. It's just blocked to make it blind. So you statically stand across to find it, but you can't see it because you're above and there's this big blocker in the way. So then you really don't want to match feet because it's a blind foot match below you on a slab, which if you get it wrong,
while you're pressing up.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose some shin. So this is it. Into the plus time for Stasha. Can she find a position that works?
Go confident to the zone, but
it's the effort.
Here we've seen
stab and stay.
She is through.
Yes, yes. Oh, the right foot let her down.
That was close. That was very close. She got pretty well into that crimp. And then the foot let her down, as you said.
Wow, a lot of effort expended. And I think that sort of top right angle shows you the kickback. So sort of the really open corner, you kind of go from slab to overhang, and it's pushing you out while you're trying to push in. It's hard to describe the angle change, but that, you can see kind of the seam line, that's where it changes, and that's where it is pressing so much harder down onto your feet. A little bit of extra complexity.
Georgia, the one again who was so magnificent on the slabs so far in the competition. So let's see the pseudo slab, we could call it.
The pseudo slab, the anti-slab, the not quite. Nice from Kaito. Goes toe.
Oh, very hesitant, but not letting go.
Oh, slow, powerful reach, low toe hook.
Here we go, big crux. What's Kaito's plan?
1, 2, 3, fourth foot decision.
Close in the dual text, finding the best spot.
Oh, he's still on. He's still on. Still there. Oh my God. He makes it work for a flash. Meanwhile, Georgia was looking so good there.
I am sorry, but Kaito just defied any kind of physics there. He, the gravity said, okay, you're done, stop.
No.
And he said no. He said, no, I will not stop. The compression that he held there, insane. Look, the foot.
The left foot is, of course, there's nothing there, in case you're curious if there was a little jib. And then while sliding down, manages to get enough upward pull. That's when you're falling away and still being able to go up. You're just separating your upper and lower body. Yeah, my feet are down there, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna pull a little bit harder.
That was hard, and I think if we speak to the setters, they're gonna say that's not how you're supposed to do it.
You should not have been able to complete the boulder from that position.
But he did it, and fair play to him.
Yep, so for a second time he responds to Artur's flash challenge. Looking quite good. She got here so cleanly on the first attempt.
So comfortable. Standing in that, on the feet in the opposing position.
Yeah, sticks the crimp. Lines up the finish, Georgia Tessio. Yes, gets the 1-2 to finish. And you got a really good look at how bad the feet were in that transition, why that was giving Stasha so much trouble.
Georgia Tessio proving herself to be the slab queen of this event.
That was wonderful climbing. Look, just catching that. Love it.
Look at that, reaming it back in, bringing the rest of the fingers on, going into full crimp. We're not letting go anymore.
There's a lot of travel for the left hand here. Getting that 1-2 just right.
Tough to stand on that volume on the right as well, as your body's all the way over to the left. So if you stand too early, it's going to go off. You have to wait until you get up over it before you start standing.
All right, Selma Mimoun and Hannis A, our last two climbers on boulder number 2. Can they rise to this challenge? I think smart money says yes.
Smart money would go for it. Hannah is such an interesting style. A bit more flair, but he doesn't let go. He stays on so well.
And we should mention how bad those 2 footholds on the men's boulder start is. Gregor said to me, "Oh, they're good. They're fine.
They're fine. They're fine."
And I looked at them like this. The right foothold is terrible.
His explanation for everything. It's fine. It's fine.
Hannes looking quite smooth here.
We are. Now we're at the crux. High foot, sticks it, no bother.
Wow. That was maybe the cleanest top. Didn't look to be out of control at any point.
Really, really good. And Selma has already come off. I don't think she got as far as the zone on her first attempt.
I don't believe so, no.
Which means, actually, even if she tops us now, I think she might be behind Georgia.
Yes, you would be correct.
So Selma is somehow, from being the dominant force, still technically dominating.
Yes.
Playing catch-up in the whole competition.
And that's the nature of a final. You often see 6th to 1st. You see people who come storming into finals and finish outside of the podium. It happens all the time, and that just comes down to style. You try to be good at everything, but you can't be. Here we just get another look at how in control, like no sag on the hips.
So good. That you can see how hard that compression is. Undercutting way above your head and really close with the other hand.
On a wide pinch. Yeah.
Able to do it. Totally able to flash this boulder.
Look at that.
I think this is a really world-class show of elite climbing. That climb was really impressive to watch.
And I mean, he's climbing like somebody much older than his 20 years. He was also climbing at Youth Worlds just 2 years ago. He's had some World Cup experience as well. He's been on the podium twice as a young climber, so he would have only been 19.
Selma now looking really hesitant to find this zone.
And trying to go, I mean, that second hole that she's on is much worse than the first one. So she thinks she needs the distance. So you see her going, all the other women went to the zone from the first under cling.
Yeah.
It's not really a cling, under push.
Under press.
Yeah, it's flat under there.
Yeah, it seems generally not so comfortable in the start. All athletes were quite happy to get stood up and get that right foot over onto the blind edge, but Selma seems not so sure about what method she wants to choose through here. And if you start off bad, it's really hard to get back on the horse and continue for the rest of the climb.
Yeah, your confidence gets shaken a little bit.
All about finding the right place for that left foot so that you can reach across, but again, not looking good.
Yeah, the balance point is letting her down. Little chalk, little pit crew brushing. 20 seconds to go. This is going to be the last try for Selma. The pressure is on now, and you start to feel the pressure when you're in this position.
Yep, as the timer out. Let's see.
Here in the background, maybe our MC Susapun trying to get the crowd behind Selma for her last try. Can she make this reach? She does flip the right hand, left hand over.
That was the trick.
The zone, valuable for sure. Look at that little kind of chin scum heel.
She managed to. There we are.
Oh, matching the zone.
Over.
No, reverses it. Oh, a lot of extra climbing being done here. Oh, no! Selma Mimoun, can you finish this boulder? Oh, quite. The foot slip just when she needed it most, didn't quite get the height out of the jump. Almost pulled a top from what looked like desperation.
That is going to be hard to come back from. You can see in her face right now, she is dealing with a lot of defeat, both on this and the previous boulder. Both on at the top move, should be clearly in first place. And as you can see, keep an eye on the foot.
Yeah.
Is that gonna stick as she comes across so much?
She never really likes where she's putting it, right? And that left foot, yes, the right foot's on about its 4th or 5th different pickup.
The right hand blows, actually.
Yeah, at the same time.
Barely grab it before, so just not quite in as much as she would have liked, and she's on the wall for so long.
Yep.
Hand builds up sweat, and then it's risky.
Yeah, and you see even hands to their head before she's even finished falling off. Yep. So you know that that's right there for you. So that is going to leave Georgia Tessio sitting all alone in first place with the only top of that boulder. Stasha now sitting in second with the zones, and Chloé Caulier and Katja Debovic also with 2 zones and 2 attempts, and then Selma, a few extra attempts there, and Afra unable to get the zone on that second boulder is going to leave her sitting down in 6th place.
We do have another hard female round.
Hannah sitting at the top in a 3-way tie still with Kaito and Artur. They're responding to each other's flash attempts on the first 2 boulders. Antoine sitting behind in 4th with 1 top, and then Michael in 5th and 6th now, only zones for them so far, but still 2 boulders to go. A lot can change. After 2 boulders with 2 boulders to go, you could flip that whole script. So we don't know what's going to happen. We never do. Right now we have a little bit of a gap, so they need to do a bit of tweaking. Some of the holds from the men's and women's boulders are in the way of each other, so the route setters are going to be basically doing full speed pit crew out there. They're going to swap some holds out, and we're going to get back to it for our 3rd boulder.
Yeah, so just a few minutes to kill, and I think analyzing the scores, again, particularly a tough female round, but something to be aware of, that this is essentially the kind of warm-up for the World Cup season. This is the first competition of the year. This is towards the end of most athletes' training cycles. It might still be some athletes going on until February, but this is the first challenge that they get, and this is really how they calibrate and they prepare themselves for the start of the season. So hard boulders might be just showing what's going to be coming in the World Cup season.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are the kind of difficulty that you are going to see in a World Cup round. That semifinal is as hard as any World Cup that I've watched. And these finals are as interesting, as complex kind of movements. So yeah, absolutely. You get to see where you're at in the cycle. And then for the climbers that are no longer doing World Cups, you're just getting to see, what have you still got? Like, what can you still produce? What can your experience do for you? What can your instincts, when they take over, are they still going to push you through? So sometimes having that, just being a veteran can give you a little bit of an advantage. Maybe you read a boulder a little bit better. Maybe you manage your fitness a little bit better. So lots of different ways to approach the difference between the young guns and some of the older guard here that's at this competition today.
Yeah, well, I think the setters have made quick work, and we're already back in action.
Just like that.
Our first competitors up on the wall. I want to know how quick that was. What were the changes they made? Because
I mean, inside of 2 minutes. I think they only had to take a couple of holds off. So they only removed the pinch and the finish from men's.
Yeah. Proper pit stop performance.
Yeah, ladders out, drills out, pop, pop, pop. And Afra wasting absolutely zero time to get on the wall. And Michael, see, this boulder just looks like you'd be annoyed trying to get around this corner. You're in your own way. Oh, wow.
We're going to see a lot of finicking on this boulder. There's going to be 100 different places you could put your foot or your hips, and they're going to be trying to figure it out as they go along. No one's going to race through this, I think.
No, and there's going to be that sort of, as we saw the women on Boulder 2, trying to find the perfect balance point. You're going to be, oh, I'm too far left, I'm too far right, I need to be higher, I need to be lower. And meanwhile, the women are back into the second steepest part. So the women are getting 2 of the burliest sections of the wall.
Yeah, they're definitely getting their lats tested today. Afra looked to be already making pretty good progress. First attempt, she tried to take a cut. Second, ciphering or pixie kicking straight into the toe hook on the right. So making a step forward. If she can keep doing that, then we could see her get all the way through.
And on these holds, all of the no texture is a completely different color. So the green is friction and the black is the opposite of whatever the opposite of friction is. It's just straight slippery.
We are. Let's keep an eye. Afra's had, again, it is an overhanging boulder, and she's had a few goes in quick succession. Hopefully she has the energy.
I almost wonder if that should be a cross. It looks like it's going to be hard to twist the way she's setting that move up, but we'll see.
Misha going for like a dynamic pop into a toe hook. It didn't look like it worked for him.
No. And this one, you know, as you alluded to, is going to cause a little confusion. It's going to cause some head shakes. It might introduce a little bit of doubt, sort of erode your confidence and make you question whether you're doing the right thing. Should I change my beta, my sequencing? Should I go with what I've been trying already? Ooh, almost.
It was exciting though.
Yeah.
She's getting closer. You could see it in her eyes that that was feeling better. Oh no.
Danaan, I feel like this is the kind of boulder where you might try it 8 times and do something different every time.
Oh yeah, and the worst is if you get through and then you can't remember what you did.
Yeah, oh my, and that happens.
Yes.
It's not a joke. You get through and you fall and you get back to the beginning, like, which of the 7 things that I have tried actually worked? And we're already down to a minute left.
Wow. Misha's not finding it so hard to put that right foot all the way out there onto this sloping away surface and then make it stick. You can't just set it there and do the move. It actually has to find some purchase. It has to pull, and it's just placed in the absolute worst way to create that pull.
And I love that this is what competition route setting can do. I mean, Misha's climbed 9A. It doesn't matter on a boulder like, it does not matter on a boulder like this if you've climbed 9A.
No.
It's wildly irrelevant.
They don't care.
Clever and finding the perfect body position and the perfect timing. You see him dragging the arete that time.
Yeah, really trying a different method, getting into that kind of last desperation goes. You can see he's going to pull on once more, I think. And maybe he'll figure it out. Maybe not.
Oh, just short of the toe hook and is going to...
She's back on.
She's back on. We'll see if the judges give it to her. For us, irrelevant. We're going to see if she can get one more big push to this toe hook. Oh, just absolutely out of gas. I love the level of energy that she's bringing to this round.
Great sportsmanship from Afra. She's just looking happy. Great energy there.
Enjoying the process when it can be difficult to enjoy the process. Mika M with a gentle smile. Tough to tell if he's having fun still. I imagine he is.
I think so. He definitely had a bit of fun on that last move just before. Yep. He seemed like absolute star in the interviews before. Very happy to chat. No nerves about him.
No, I mean, at 34 years old, he is absolutely the elder statesman of this round, of almost any comp he's in these days. You know, Sean McCall's up there. A couple of the other older climbers. Schubert's 32, I think, maybe. So, wow! Yes, look at this.
Go on,
a little extra wingspan and a little extra just sneakiness, cupping the arete,
bumping up little bits of the time. Okay.
Wow. Opposing the swing. So much movement to
He's fighting so hard right now. What is he doing with this left hand? What's his plan going to be? Still not even at the zone. His feet are so close, dropping a bit lower, but then that's below the undercuts that were keeping him on.
Wow. That's wow.
What do you do after that?
Yeah. Body language says exhausted. That was really good.
Yeah, you see
Really
it. So very different method, reaching across with both hands, and then I think getting those feet across quite early. His whole body was on the right. He might still want to be using that arrête on the left to stay on.
Katja going like left and then trying to go right hand to that undercling. Oof. Trying to control it as a bit of a coordination swing. It looked close enough that she might try it again. As we see this,
the fight in his face.
Just to get there the first time.
He's not even there yet.
Yeah. And then I'm not sure I can accurately describe how hard it would be to hold that position and not barn door. The left foot is a slab on a volume, and the right hand is just sort of a decent-ish undercling.
Oh, wow.
Gets back there.
Katja trying to cross and dynamically go all the way. Another Canadian clutch, but
I'm going to draw you a picture.
They seem to never work.
He's higher this time.
Yeah, this looks much better. Keeping on that left arrête.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, wow.
He's in zone. So we won't get the zone. You get it kind of in passing if you top the boulder. But a foot doesn't get you the zone. Katja makes it stick.
We are seeing some action.
Oh, he sticks it! Oh my goodness!
How did he get up there?
Mika M still goes back and touches the zone.
He's still up there.
Making progress.
Oh my God!
This is wild
to look.
Right in the middle. Let your peripheral vision do the work. Katja.
Oh! Mika M.
It's the toe hook.
Matches the top. Katja now up in that corner on the right.
Get double tops. Winding up for it.
Has the crimp. Just a little bump. Top is a jug. Is she in there? Oh, she has it.
Yes, she is. Wow, what a moment at the Dock Masters. Yes, you can hear the scream from here.
Wow. That stopped making sense about
halfway through. A high five to each other, a wave to the crowd. That is how you wake up a room that didn't even need to be woken up. Mika M pulled the top out of almost certain disaster.
Certain disaster. He skipped the zone entirely, went back, gave it a touch for the points, why not? And now he's just out there.
It's not usable. It's clearly usable, but it shouldn't be.
He did this yesterday as well. He toe hooked an arrête and it made no sense.
Right foot smear and manages to make purchase. And I think even the finish matches, the toe hook was so critical. Mika M pulling every trick.
Insane. We talked yesterday about having the composure of when you get through a crux and you don't expect to then keep it together to the top. And he just gave us an absolute masterclass in that.
Really, really wonderful climbing from both Katja and Mika M. I mean, I didn't think she was going to be able to make that jump work and then just absolutely wrestled through the transition of angles. That boulder is kicking you the wrong way the whole time for the women. Chloé Caulier now, I mean, they will know that the crowd saw ridiculous excitement, and they will probably know that it was on both boulders. Almost gets it first try.
Almost. It's a scary jump to stick. Just got to get that right leg out pretty quick, and not easy to do whatsoever.
Ooh, Antoine, very clean on the tip over.
Very French.
Very.
Good with the technical moves. It might be just the French athletes know how to make it work.
Did Gregor not call this the French slab?
Oh, he might have.
Yeah, I believe he did. Just, understanding now how much further to the right you have to tip.
Now, bear in mind that that was none of the beta that Mika M used.
We might not see that again. Yeah, we might not see that again. Chloé.
Boom! Oh, oof. Big kick on the right. It's scary stopping such a big swing there.
And that almost full wingspan. So if she maybe gets that toe to hit a little higher, and here,
you saw those fingers. They had so much angle on that crimp. Wasn't an open hand crimp there whatsoever.
Oh, and she kind of crept to it as well. Yeah, I love the way he's doing this opening move. Just using the whole of your instep.
Here we are now. Let's it'll be really interesting. We might see 10 different betas through this section.
It'll be hard to know. You know,
Chloé now switching the beta. She's going for the toe hook like Afra. Almost had it.
And he's I don't know if Michael's decision making there was anything he previewed. If he just turned on instinct.
Just went full Moem.
Just went full Moem mode. And if you've been watching competition climbing for any length of time, you know that both him and his brother are capable of doing just insane things. Some of the stuff that came out in the Olympics in 2020 from Mikael, and then to be world champion at the age of 33.
Yep.
Just, you know, a lifetime of effort coming down to a few key moments.
He's a good lad.
Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorites. Chloé Caulier going back, I think, to the right hand. Yeah, tested the toe, didn't love it, but now you see not getting the same distance.
You can see there's a bit of power gone there, and she seems aware of it. It's going to be hard to do the move with that beta now, with the fatigue that she has.
And the slopers, they don't give you any. It's really hard to squeeze in the angles that you want. You're pulling down, and you don't really have that ability to compress that opening move the way you want to.
There we go. He's got a heel hook.
I mean,
I wouldn't say he looks comfortable, but creeping out to the zone, I think that'll count.
Yeah, a foot movement, that'll definitely count.
There
and
we
then
go.
it gets reestablished. This is where you want to be.
Now you can see there is a crimp placed in that zone, and he is not near the crimp. Is he going to find it with his left? He is. He's still on the wall.
Nice.
This
is good stuff now. Let's see if he can roll the top out. Decisions to be made. Gets the compression.
Out to the arrest. Low on the right hand. Left foot.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no, 5 seconds. Is he going to get back on?
He is.
Oh, he jumps on and tries to chalk up.
Chloé on as well. Almost gets the toe to work. So half a move. Ooh. Yeah, the frustration evident, and as it should be. That is so difficult to get that close to the unlocking of a move like that. Antoine, right, he did manage to chalk up.
Yeah, he got on. It's relatively stable position to start.
Compared to the rest of the boulder, it's the best position.
Let's see if he can remember the sequence he had. It was a crazy right heel hook. There's no texture there, but he makes it work anyway. Looping over to the zone, and there we go.
I mean, the squeeze required to control the zone, and you can see even there that just sort of the fatigue, like the air just let out of his body. All right, here we go. Stasha Geho and Artur Robolo. I would say that this would be back into Stasha's style, and so far everything has looked to be Artur's style.
Yeah, let's see. I think this is going to be a very different challenge. We've seen 2 very basic climbs, and if you're young and strong, you can do that.
Interesting, yeah.
But it takes a bit of wisdom to do something that's both hard and very, very complex, and we certainly have a complex boulder in front of us for men's number 3.
Yeah, good point. Good point indeed. All right, Stasha immediately up on the boulder going.
Ooh, very strong.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, wow. Look.
Wow. That's fantastic stuff from Stasha. Gets a little knee bar.
There we are.
That was
fight impressive.
Of the transition.
Bit of a foot slip there, but she's all right, chalking up. Here we are, taking that second to enter pitch 2 of this boulder.
Onto the crimp.
Now this is the exact move that she couldn't figure out on women's 4 yesterday.
Yeah, a bit of a palm. So she's going to go left hand to the crimp. Not quite. Oh, not quite.
Antoine
Having trouble unlocking the start position, yeah.
Stasha now, she looked so comfortable. You could tell she knew that toe hook was going to work as soon as she went for it. So it's all about making sure she rests and she has that energy again for the next go.
And I will be interested to see if she's going to square up and go right hand the way that Katja did, or if she's going to go left hand as per her first attempt. Artur looking pretty good.
He's found that toe hook that Mika had, but
he's keeping the arête longer.
Gonna do the magical thing Mika did, or figure something else. Ooh, low toe.
Left toe. Okay.
Okay, can he reach back?
Okay.
All the way. He's gonna have to find a different way to release that left foot.
It's gonna be a big swing. Oh, using the... Oh, I thought he was gonna... We both held our breath, I think.
Wow, you saw he put his thumb on the foothold?
Yeah.
Here's Stasha now. And I think it was her foot that popped, the left foot going up to this crimp.
Yeah, because the press looked strong. I mean, this is well within the reach.
Just in the box there. It's still kind of a dynamic move.
Left foot. Yeah, maybe just a bit too much swing pressure on there. So either a little slower or just a bit snappier.
Snappy.
Clever tactics from Artur as well, as you say. I mean, he went back and forth from the arête about 5 times trying to find the ideal position to leave it.
Now let's keep an eye on Stasha. She will be the one to watch if she gets this toe hook.
Yes.
Ooh, very deep, but does hold on.
And the cross through, dude, that's so difficult.
Gets that knee bar. Not a comfortable knee bar, not a good knee. She's had surgery on that knee, so
plus it's
not want to wait around.
So Artur back to the zone, and Stasha getting into the press position. Left foot's a little higher this time. Stasha Gayo. Yeah, sticks the crimp, elbows out.
Get the foot across.
No! Not quite able to get the foot across.
Oh my goodness, she's looking tired. She is done.
2 very strong efforts, but not enough.
30 seconds left, so let's see if Artur can figure out something on this extremely complex boulder.
There's no position that looks comfortable. There's nothing that looks like a place where you can sink in and reset. Under tension the whole time. Yeah, that was the really long, almost flagpole position. So down to the zeros, Artur in the plus. Now you have to be careful. Can't afford a little slip.
Very nice, kind of releasing the hands there, committing to the toe hook to come out around the corner. Quite confident in his ability to repeat this sequence.
Yeah.
Now here's where we saw the most insane barn door. Hasn't let it happen yet. What are we gonna see here?
Micro adjustments.
Keep an eye on that right foot. So much tension and pressure driving through it. He wants that left foot to come down, let him out, but wasn't able to.
Back to that arête, maybe even just to give his right foot a break.
Now, looking for that crimp.
Yeah, heel toe, heel toe. I mean, doing the Texas two-step at this point. Is he just gonna go?
Looks like he might. He might run out of options and just give it a whirl, but
might be running out of.
He's well set up. He's got the same toe hook as Mika. That left foot very low. Is he gonna walk it up and try again? Oh, he sees it. He sees it.
Is he gonna jump? Oh, didn't like the explosivity that Mika had. Tried to do a little coordination move. Really creative stuff.
Little 1-2.
Wow.
The CC.
Yeah, that was just a lot of movement. All right, Kaito Watanabe, Giorgia Tessio. Kaito, one of the shorter climbers, might fight a little harder on the opening stretch, but he's crafty.
We know he's strong, but let's see how technical he is. And Giorgia now, we know she's technical.
Yeah, let's see how strong
she is. Oof. That was
a little
close.
test, yeah.
Scary one to stop. But she got the hand all the way in, so I imagine she's going to give that another go.
Yeah. Kaito, no problem.
Pretty good through here.
And actually now I wonder if being a little bit more small box is going to be an advantage
right now.
This position.
Yes. Your feet are close to your hands. Locked in on that low left though. Ooh. Don't know what the plan was.
Yeah, no. Maybe just try and maybe hold another swap down to flip your grip on the zone hold.
Kaito, he's a super athlete on super hold, so as we said, he's legally
bound
to top it.
Yeah. And about the same from Georgia. I do really love these holds. The super holds here on this, the long dual text, the face angle changes across those holds.
Yeah, really interesting because they almost work like slopers in how they change the climbable surface, but they're macros.
Yeah.
So you're stuck in this in-between place and figuring out how to use them.
If your foot's a little lower, maybe the angle changes enough, but then you're too close to your own hips. But if it's a little farther down the hold, it's not as good. Look, he's getting that.
Oh wow, bumping from
really
the left
toe hook.
Bumping the
try
right
and
toe
go. Oh my goodness.
Wow, that
is he gonna jump to it? Yes, my goodness.
Georgia has found the toe hook on the right. So these holds are quite good. Hopefully she shouldn't have too much trouble.
Yes, makes it work.
Getting through this sequence, but the next step, no giveaway. Katja found a different method of getting into that corner as opposed to Stasha, who was outright. Georgia, I would imagine she should get into the corner, but she's not set up for it. Oh, she is getting into the corner.
Yeah, she's got a bit of a knee scum.
There we found it.
This should do it.
That is her.
Yes, Georgia Tessio. Excellent stuff.
Amazing.
You can definitely follow along with the scoring if you want to see it before the end of the boulders when we show it to you on the NKBV website. There is live scoring happening. It's live, give it a couple minutes after each last attempt. You can keep up with what's going on. I do believe that second top from Georgia is going to jump her to the top of the leaderboard at this moment.
Very cool to see. There was an intent.
Oof. I'm just going to say the right foot was a good bit higher than on the first attempt, and then it slid all the way back down. Hands on hips. He did stick with his original sequence, so it worked enough. I wonder if the wheels are turning here while he's looking at it, or if he's just giving himself time to think, and he's going to go back to working out the left hip.
It's amazing that he's being able to do so much from that left toe hook because it's not a sharp arete. It is quite open. And he's just toe hooking and bumping the right foot up that super macro on the right. Insane that he's staying on.
Yeah, if you're in Utrecht, if you climb in the Netherlands, I would invite you to come to Energiehaven and just go touch this arete at some point in the next couple weeks and remind yourself how much faith these climbers were putting in their ability to hold this quite wide corner.
Okay, in the business now.
Doing
Both
something
feet on the right.
Yeah, a little different.
We saw Mika go down here and it wasn't good. Back to his left toe hook.
It is curious. I love that angle. You almost think you want the right hand high.
Now what's he looking at?
And maybe the clock?
No one behind.
Yeah, no, there's no help coming. There is no help on the way.
That right toe bumping up, that is so hard to do.
It's one more scooch out of the left.
And he's going up with the left?
Yeah. Can he hold the swing? Not quite enough height to get there.
That would have been... I don't see him sticking it that way, but I would have loved to.
Yeah. I love that he tried it. Absolutely. Whew. Take a breath, ladies and gentlemen. A lot has been going on, and now we have Selma Mamoun and Hannes Verdasco back. The last two climbers on this third boulder.
Well, we've seen Hannes be pretty damn good at topping boulders so far this entire competition, but I do believe the one climb he hasn't topped was on this sector of wall.
That's
so
correct.
Let's see if he can get revenge.
And a similar amount, I think, not by an oversight from the route setters to set a similarly awkward, complex boulder in the same place. Selma, wow, very cleanly into the undercling on her first try.
So strong on the overhang.
Want to fight her way back to the top of the leaderboard.
And another smaller athlete, I can imagine her going up with the right hand, getting into that corner. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, out to the press. This method does look harder. Stasha couldn't make it work. Selma now.
The left foot quite a bit higher than Stasha was. Can she get the toe on?
Right toe still.
Yes, she can.
She's low below the crimp, but she can pull up. She's got
Takes the adjustment and flashes boulder number 3. So that is going to jump her into contention for the podium. That top is huge.
Very, very good for her, because clearly the strongest athlete so far. But the results were just not showing it for her.
Oh, they weren't coming. All right, Hannis. Oh, a little bit dynamic. So, just trying to solve it. Interesting in the format that we're playing with here at Dock Masters that they're going to take a half-hour break after Hannis goes here and finishes his attempt either through top or time. And they're going to set the fourth boulder back into a spot on the wall that currently has climbs on it. So they wanted to make use of their favorite surfaces to set the fourth boulder. So we're doing something a little bit different. We get to do that at comps like this. See what Hannis can do here.
Yeah, let's have a seat now. Clearly he's one of the strongest athletes around, but this is not a matter of strength anymore.
No, it's a matter of a little bit of cleverness, a little bit of tactics. What are they capable of doing?
Wow, he has found a way across. Really impressive with that toe hook. But as we've seen with everyone else that's tried this boulder, now the business starts.
Yeah. He's going to keep fighting. I'm going to make my way to ISO because I'm going to get another chance to talk to these athletes in maybe the most delicate point of the competition. You guys stay here with Danaan, keep an eye on Hannis, and I'll catch up with you in just a couple of minutes.
That is Hannis off again. He's got one more try, 1 more minute, and not straightforward what the pathway ahead is. You see clearly quite uncertain on what to do for that last section to get to the zone and upwards. We watched Mika M do it, the only athlete to get a top on this climb, and it did essentially break our brains. So I think for Hannis to do the same, we're going to have to get our brains broken once more. Okay, he is right. That right toe's not looking great. Able to fix it now, and the confusion is about to begin. Ooh, darts that right toe out. He's still on, but I wouldn't say he's looking comfortable right now. Not able to get the right hand up and into the zone. Has been bested by this extremely complicated boulder. And that is the last of our climbing for the first 3 boulders today at this competition. We've seen the men and women battle it out on what was clearly some tough boulders. I think that is reflected in the scores, a few heartbreaking moments. And now we have an interesting break. As Pete briefly mentioned, that here at Dock Masters they really want to put on the best performance possible, and as that always is at a climbing competition that relies on having some really, really good boulders on the wall. And so the plan is to take down some of the holes that are currently up there and put up some new climbs that are going to be really cool and really spectacular. So we got a little bit of time to kill, but we're not going to waste it. Pete is currently over in isolation and he's going to speak to some athletes live in the middle of a competition, something we never get to see. So I'll hand it over to you, Pete.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are basically now in the heart of it. So this is isolation where they've been coming back after all of their attempts. They're all hanging out together. There's a lot going on in a competition at this point in time. This is super rare. This is, I'm going to say, it's never been done. We've rarely get cameras in isolation at all, and never in the middle of a round. So we're privileged to be here. We have a couple of athletes that I think will be keen to speak with us. We know the results, and we're taking this break to go back out for the fourth boulder. So still all to play for on the podiums with one boulder to go and some tight spaces near the top. So we're gonna see if we can grab a couple of climbers who are feeling like they might be up for a bit of a chat, and we'll maybe convince some of them to come and chat with us. Yes. Antoine, how are you feeling right now? This is, we're saying, this is a very rare moment for us to get to be in your space in this time, so we appreciate you. How you feeling? What's going on?
I'm feeling a little bit tired for the moment after 3 boulders, because for the moment, like, no slabs, only physical one. So yes, I think the last one will be like coordination one, so maybe more swingy. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah. So are you hoping for something? Maybe you can just get your mitts on and grab and pull?
I don't know. I don't know. That's mystery. I don't know. But I think coordination for maybe.
I just want to get a little bit of your insight when you're in secondary ISO like this. Are you the kind of climber that wants to know what's going on? Are you trying to see where you are in the placement, or do you just put your head down and go to work every time?
I try to, yes, let me alone, put my headphones and just to hear nothing, like in my own space. I prefer.
So even that, so we appreciate you taking the time, because we are definitely in your space. Yes. Do you have a boulder? We're just looking at some of the results here. Walk me through boulder number 2. That thing was just burly.
Yes, burly, what does it mean?
Just like wrestly, powerful, squeezing.
Yes, it was like maybe the first move I did it too powerful, maybe like little bit of coordination, it will be better. And I didn't understand well the last movement, like, yes, maybe just have to jump, or I don't know the right beta exactly.
And the feet were terrible through there.
Yes, really glassy, so really hard. So yes, no idea about the last move, but I will do my best on the last one.
Yeah, absolutely. You got one boulder to go, still podium spots to play for, so good luck out there, and thanks for chatting with us. Really good to hear some of that. Let's see if we can get maybe anyone else. We'll get a few more. Anybody want to come and have a bit of a chat? No?
Michael, go chat.
Michael. So we caught you in the middle. This is what happens in isolation. You're getting some water, you're getting some food in there. Thanks for taking a little bit of your mental effort here to come and talk to us. Completely different format with this half-hour break. What are you going to do in this amount of time between Boulders 3 and Boulders 4?
That's a very good question. We've never had this before in finals, so we gotta come up with something. And but yeah, just trying to stay warm, chat with the other guys, and have a good time, and then do a few moves before we get to go again.
So you're not gonna nap or anything?
No, I'm not gonna nap because I need loads of coffee after that to get warm, waking up again. But so yeah.
No doubt. How much chit-chatting has been going on between the boulders with the gentlemen this evening? Have you guys been talking about the boulders you just finished? Have you been talking about what was successful, or are you kind of keeping yourself to yourself?
We've been talking a little bit. Usually in isolation, it's also not allowed to talk too much, because in this isolation, we have competitors in that still have to climb, so they shouldn't, get beat or anything. So, but we've did chat a little bit and exchange a bit, but yeah. it's always good to talk a bit to not get too bored.
Yeah, for sure, because you got about 20 minutes in here to kind of kill. And now going out for boulder number 4, what part of the wall are you hoping boulder number 4 is going to be on?
I'm guessing it's going to be something a bit more coordinative, maybe dynamic. So I would say it's going to be maybe in the steeper part. We'll see.
Well, I'll let you get back to it. Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate the insight, and good luck on the last boulder.
Thank you. See ya.
Let's see if we can get near the top of the leaderboard here. Let's see if maybe... Georgia, did you want to have another quick word with us? Oh, you can leave your jacket on.
No, it's better.
All right, Georgia, we're in this break between Boulders 3 and Boulders 4. Do you know where you're sitting at in the standings? Is that something you've been seeing or talking about?
Yeah, we have talked a little bit with the girls about the data we use for the boulders, if we read them correctly in the observations. But also the format is going to change, like the starting order is going to change. So reverse, they will reverse the ranking that is at the moment. So we know which position we have. So yeah, I know where I stand.
So you know there's maybe a little bit of pressure, because if I scroll in here, that's you sitting right at the top. So you're going to come out last. Yeah. Is that giving you nervous energy? Or are you just excited to go out and see what Boulder 4 has to give you?
Yeah, I'm a bit nervous, of course, because I'd like to give my best. But in order to do that, I just have to be excited and give my all on the last boulder, and we will see how it ends. But yeah, I'm going on the last boulder, trying to have fun and do my best.
You've been climbing really well so far. We've seen you display a couple of different strengths and different styles. So no matter what Boulder 4 throws at you, right now it looks pretty confident that you're going to be able to just go to work.
Yeah, I'll try my best. Thank you.
Well, good luck to you, and we can't wait to see you out on the mats.
See you later.
I would like to catch... I'm going to see if I can get Kaito to come and have a word with us. Where's Kaito hiding? Sometimes they go, he might be down, he might be outside. That's one. Let's go, let's see if, well, wait, they're doing a little bit of signing here too, so a lot going on back here. We're going to try and catch Artur when he's done signing the posters. Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah, why not?
Artur, I want to make a point of something. You guys know what's been going on. We mentioned on the live stream, you came over the first person to flash boulder number 1 and send that message back. When you come back into ISO after only being gone for 2 minutes, how does that feel to come back in being like, oh, I think I flashed that thing and I think they know?
Yeah. You get the looks. Like sometimes you see them in their eyes like, is he already here? And you just gotta keep calm, and that's a mental game sometimes, but you just gotta act confident and not like get too much into it. Like it's just a game, and most of the parties on climbing is not on mental games. Like it helps, but you gotta stay in your own bubble.
Yeah, you have to be able to sort of deal the card or take the cards that are being dealt to you, and if it's that kind of day, then you just sort of absorb it and move on. You try and stay as much to your own personality instead of changing to maybe what the mood is, something like that?
Yeah, for sure. You gotta keep composure in your climbing, and when you just come back to the ISO, you have a few minutes thinking about the boulder, and then you just get to the next one and just forget about it. Like everything starts back on the next boulder.
Do you have a favorite out of the first 3 boulders?
I don't know. Like it was very different boulders. I think I would not say the last one for sure, but like flashing a physical boulder that was not my style was something I was very proud of.
Oh, absolutely, and you looked so strong doing. And we were just talking before, Misha, the last move, super awkward.
Yeah, it's super awkward. Like I had no idea what to do in my head. Like I was just, do I go now? No, I gotta wait a little bit, find something else. And to the last time, you got always go like if you were doing the move, but I don't know if I was really about to do it. Then that's why when I got up, I was so excited and so happy.
Yeah, it was really, really good climbing. You guys know where you're standing because they're flipping the order when you go back out.
Yes.
So that's you sitting right there.
Yeah.
All the podium spots are going to be up for grabs on that 4th boulder.
we have mental games in the ISO, but they put us through mental games more. And I like that.
Yeah, it's something brand new. I don't think anyone's ever seen it before. You guys are absorbing that pressure really, really well. You're climbing really, really well. Keep that youthful energy up. See if you can go out and get it done.
Thank you, bro.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck. Let's just wander back here just for a minute, because I'd like to catch our men's leader right now. Kaito, can we have 2 minutes with you? Yes, come on. Yeah.
It's finished.
It is one of the best shirts going right now. Kaito, come down here. Just give me 2 minutes. 1 minute. Oh, 1 minute. Really, really good climbing through the first 3 boulders. How did they feel for you?
How do I feel? It like the first boulder, it was like kind of my style. I really liked it. And second one, it was like hard, slopey underquing. It was hard, but like I flashed it. The third one, I didn't understand.
Yeah, and you're not alone. So everybody was in the same boat. That boulder just threw everybody for a loop. The toe hooks on the arête, how much confidence did you have leaning around the corner?
It was okay. I had the confidence to put the toe hook all the time. Yeah, it was okay. Yeah.
And we know where you're going to be coming out. Looking here at the leaderboard, you're going to be the last guy out on the 4th boulder. Do you like that kind? Is it pressure, or you enjoy that position?
Honestly, I don't like to be the last person, but I will do my best. Yes.
Yeah. You've been doing your best all weekend. I have no doubt that whatever you put out on boulder number 4 is going to be exciting. You've been climbing super, super well. I appreciate you hanging out with us. Good luck on the last boulder.
Thank you so much.
All right. I think we could maybe catch one more. I do want to talk to Mika for 1 minute, just because of what he put down on boulder number 2. We just have one question for you.
Just one.
Yeah, just one question. Boulder number 2, okay, you up in the compression, you get into the undercling, you get into the side pull, and we think, oh, he's just going to go. And then we saw your head turn, and we both said it. If you go back and watch, you're like, is he? And then you just exploded. Just talk me through when you made the decision to make that final move the way you did. Was it on the boulder, or was it on the mat?
On the boulder. On the boulder. On the mat, I need to see it's a good hole or not. I don't know this hole. It's the first time I climb with this hole. And it's busy, huh? Busy hole is my friend.
Of course.
Yeah. And I check, say, oh, maybe it's a good hold. Maybe it's a good hold. And just I go, I take my break, and I go up. And when I up my head, say, maybe it's possible, maybe. And now just to question, you want to go with the beta or play? I play. Just that.
And I think you were smiling on the way down. Like, I think we saw your face you were on it. Yeah. And then on the way to the mats, you were like, you could just tell it was like, I kind of thought that you were like, I'm just going to go and do this. And if it works, it works. But you woke the crowd up. It was super exciting. I hoped that you were going to stick it, but really exciting.
Yeah. Just, I train, I go to World Cup and World Championship, Open, and Olympics all the year. You are focused only for the results. And when I come here, it's only for the pleasure and share a big moment, and not only with me and the boulder. Me and the public. The boulder, it's the third part.
Yeah.
Okay?
The boulder is the playground.
Exactly. And I want just that and take a good moment. And for me, okay, I can try the good beta and maybe put all my power here. I try to go. No, I want jump. Yeah. Jump. And it's just that, like the third boulder. Like that, I can take the decision to not take the zone, and okay, I go.
You did that boulder completely different from everybody else. And if you go back and watch the footage, both Dan and I were basically losing our minds. We're like, is he? He is. There's no way. And then the smear and the jump. So you've been putting on a classic Mika M performance. And I know they appreciate it. We appreciate it. The crowd does too. So keep it up. Boulder 4 still to come.
I hope it's a big coordination and very physical, and we need to use biceps.
Yes.
All want that, huh? All want that, big show. Okay, I hope it's that.
Absolutely. Me too. Get it done.
Yeah.
All right, I think maybe we'll try and catch one more. We'll see maybe if Selma. Yeah, she's busy. You want to keep rolling, or? Selma, how are you feeling after the first 3 boulders?
I feel pretty good, yes.
Yeah.
I enjoy the boulders, and yes, I try hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Were they about the level of difficulty you were expecting, a little harder, or maybe a little bit more complex?
I think they are as difficult as I was thinking about. I think all the boulders can be sand, but you have to be in the white beta, and you have to try as hard as you can.
So talk to me a little bit, talk to them a little bit about this format that we've just unveiled here, where we have this gap before Boulder 4, and then we're going to shuffle the order so everyone knows where they stand. Is that something that you're looking forward to be going out to the last boulder knowing exactly where you are in the standings?
I think I don't care about if I'm first or if I'm sixth. I will just try the last boulder, and then I will see the result. But I really enjoy that this competition try another format. I think it's interesting, yes.
And it's fun for all of us because A, we get to do something like this, which we never get to do. And then we just get to, A, put the boulders back into a section of the wall that we've already climbed on, which almost, I mean, it never happens in a World Cup. So you might get the steep side, you might get the slab. What do you hope you see for boulder number 4?
Me, I think that there will be only 2 boulders on the wall. So for me, it will be a coordination. Yes, and also for the spectators, like if the last boulder is a coordination, usually they love like dyno or something like this. So I think it will be a coordination, and I will try the boulder that I will have, and I will see what will happen.
Yeah, your job is to go and climb the boulder that's put in front of you, no matter what that boulder is. Yeah, absolutely. Did you have a favorite out of the 3 that you climbed so far, or was there one that annoyed you a little bit?
I think I enjoyed every boulders. Maybe I wanted to do the first one and the second one because I was close, but not enough to reach the top, but it's okay.
Yeah, and while we're watching, you see that, and we kind of feel the same struggle, the pain, where you get so close to the top of the boulder, and then when you dial it back, yeah, you have a zone on the box, but you are like at the edge of the top. And then you manage to, as you do, and as you've done all weekend, you manage to pull it out and work really hard and get that 3rd boulder put away.
Yes, I was disappointed after the first one because I think if I had the white beta for the last move, I can do it. But I didn't understand what I have to do. And the second one, I wasn't confident on my foot. So it took me a lot of time to reach the zone. And then I slipped at the last move. So yes, I didn't do the 2 first boulders.
But did you talk to the other women in isolation, and you know that you're the only person that got a shot at the top of the 2nd boulder?
No, I didn't know it in the isolation, but yes, we talk together and we speak about the boulders and everything else.
Well, thank you for hanging out with us, and good luck on boulder number 4. We'll see you out there.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, I think, I mean, we could keep running through. People are starting to get a little bit focused. I think we're about halfway through our time. Do we want to try and catch one more? Let's see, maybe. I'm just going to take a quick look at my results list here and see who else we might be able to talk to. So we got those 3, Georgia, Selma. Yeah, I think we're good here. So I'm going to step out of isolation. I want to thank all of the climbers in here. They'll know that we appreciate them taking the time to hang out with us. We're going to give them their space back for the last little bit. We're going to go shortly back to the booth, and then we're going to get back down to the mats, and we're going to preview boulder number 4 the same way we did the first 3. We're going to put that video up, and we're going to walk you through it. Don't go far. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll see you soon.
I want it, you know I'ma get it. I'm not even close to the finish, just scratching the surface, turning my L's into
Touching the surface, turning my L's into winnings. I've been the one since the beginning. No days off. I go so hard in the pain. Put in that work and it's paying off quick. I left no crumbs, you know I ate. I'm pushing the limit like get out the way. I am the one, we not one in the same. Feeling brand new when you're not in my lane. Count me back 'cause I'm breaking the chain. I woke up the pieces.
Mooi vind ik dat je de weg niet meer hoort, dat er geen andere mensen zijn, dat je helemaal in het bos bent. En daar ligt dan opeens een supermooi blok. En er zit niks extra, er zit niks in de weg, er zit geen scherp greepje in. Ja, soms denk je wel eens van ja, dit kan toch bijna niet anders dan dat dit gemaakt is om te klimmen. Dit is echt perfect. Hè, alsof een hele goede routebouwer voor ons cadeautjes heeft neergelegd om te ontdekken. In die afgelegen gebieden vind ik het heerlijk om in mijn eentje te klimmen, alles zelf uit te zoeken, de geluiden van het bos om me heen. Een werkdag is echt, dan loop ik met mijn mapje door het bos en dan heb ik dingen uit te zoeken. Bijvoorbeeld nieuwe boulders die geopend zijn, intekenen. Er zijn vaak geen filmpjes van die boulders nog. Helemaal geen informatie. Nou, dat vind ik een hele mooie manier van klimmen.
I think that's great for everyone, but most importantly, the youngsters. Ondracomp is a very specific shoe, but especially if you're a lightweight climber, I think it's actually very universal, all-rounded shoe. If I could turn back the time and I was 12 years old again, I would use it for almost everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the booth. If you don't know the gym, if you've never been in it, it's like down the stairs, through the floor, up the stairs. I'm out of breath.
Great run.
Back and forth a couple of times in the dark. But it's super privileged. We've never done that. We never talk to athletes in isolation in the middle of a competition. They were all super gracious. So if you're watching it again, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. Really, really, really cool to get that mindset in the middle of a competition.
So I think let's take a quick look at the scores because, yeah, we're pretty close to the end, but the winner is not decided whatsoever. Now, Georgia, she's looking pretty good out ahead there, but she has got 2 tops in 5 attempts. Selma, however, has 1 top in 1 attempt. So if Selma can get another top in less than those 5 attempts, then she could sneak ahead of Georgia. That is the thing to watch out for. However, if Georgia gets herself a top on this last boulder, then she's going to be pretty happy.
And that's why we've done this format, is they're going to come out in the reverse order. So we've re-ranked them after their result from the 3rd boulder, and they're going to climb in that order. So Afra first, Chloé, Stasha, Katja, Selma. Georgia is going to come out last, potentially with a top to win the comp. So often we see comps won before, like in the middle of a round on the last boulder. So this will be Georgia's to win potentially on the last boulder. On the men's side, also super, super tight.
So you can see here, all 3 athletes, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, are sitting on 2 flashes each. So that means they are split by zones, but if we're talking about tops for this last round, anything could tip it. It could end up in absolutely any order. And
I mean, even Antoine is in the mix for a podium spot if he gets a top, and one of the top 3 right now does not. So all the top 4 have potential for podium spots. Antoine can't win the, maybe, could win the comp even.
I think just looking through, because they're talking 2 tops, 2 attempts, and he has 1 top and 2 attempts.
True, it is going to come down to maybe those flash attempts. It was funny just hearing Artur say that when you come back into ISO, they're like, how are you back so soon? So he's like, you do get the look, you do get the eye. I'm like, what are you doing back here? Did you flash that boulder? He's like, try not to get too much into the gamesmanship, but they're having a bit of fun with it. It was pretty chill back there overall.
That was such a great chat with him. It was very cool to get that insight and see what did he mention about the looks as he walked back in? It was really cool.
Did you flash a boost? Yeah, I put you guys on notice, and they responded. So that's what you get. You have Kaito responding to that, every single time. So yeah, super, super cool. I think we got some replays, some things we can look back on from the first 3 bowls so far. A lot has happened in a relatively short amount of time.
Yeah, and some very, very dramatic. I hope you didn't have your volume too high, because we screamed quite a lot.
Yeah, we get excited when exciting things are happening. We do definitely get excited out here.
Yeah, we were definitely into it. And an interesting little thing they're going to do during this final round is a hot seat. Often it's reserved for lead climbing competitions, where if you currently have climbed the highest, then you get to sit in that hot seat and everyone gets to look at you and watch all the emotions, and you get all kinds of spectacular seats in competitions. But because we've had this break and we've reordered the athletes out now in their current positions, then we can simulate this in some way. And we're going to see them come out and sit on that seat as they're in first place. For the first athletes, now they aren't going to be able to get to first place, so we won't see anyone there. But at a certain point, you're going to see someone sit there and go, okay,
you got to earn that chair, and then you got to kick me out of it. And then all the other athletes are going to hang out around them. It's always as they come off that last boulder, and then they get to turn around and watch their competitors coming in. Climbing is not unique, but we're definitely proud of the fact that we're a strong community, and everybody, of course, wants to win competitions, but you never want to win at the expense of someone else having a bad day. You want to beat that next person on their best day and you on your best day. So they're very supportive of each other. Nobody's out there wishing. You don't see people crossing their fingers. You're like, I hope you fall, I hope you fall. They hope you top, but they hope they top in less tries.
Yeah, it is always interesting to wonder what deep down, how much do they really want it.
And I know that when I was competing, that I never wanted to feel like I got a giveaway win or a giveaway podium spot. I always felt like I wanted to climb against the best climbers available and be able to say that, I climbed my best, and if I climbed my best and I came in 4th, it's better than having a bad day and everyone else just making a silly mistake. Those feel a bit hollow. So, there is that deep down where you're like, oh man, I want to win this one, but you're going to take what you can be given.
Yeah. But I think, will we get to see some replays of those semifinals, or are we just going to push on through?
I think we'll see what we got. We know they're working hard in the booth back there. If replays come up, we're going to talk about them. If they're not, we're just going to, move our way through to the 4th boulder. They're going to come back out. They're going to reintroduce them. Here we do. Let's get a look at Kaito on boulder number 1. Just pretty smooth.
This is the one. He's just so strong. See, as he moves to the right crimp, even while he's swinging, you can just tell how confident he is there. And then that toe, he put it super high. He knew exactly what he was doing.
And even as the left hand stayed on the crimp for a really long time, where a couple of the other climbers doubled over or were sort of releasing on the way.
And there was the scary knee move from Georgia. We saw both Georgia and I believe Chloe try that beta.
Yeah.
But wasn't to be.
And then not enough gas in the tank. And then Selma was saying, frustrating to not be able to top the boulders, but to have gotten further than anyone else on boulder number 2.
Luckily, Selma is still in contention, because clearly she put in such a good effort, really getting towards the top of each climb, but not quite getting scoring holds.
Oh, and Chloe, you see that left, that was the palm. It was just working so hard. And the foot swap, as you mentioned, the blind foot swap. And then Stasha also not quite getting just the positions correctly on what maybe looked to be a straightforward boulder, but ended up being the very difficult positions to unlock with the footwork.
Yeah, you could see the frustration really starting to build up with some of the athletes on this boulder, and clearly, quite a frustrating round for some athletes, but that's just the game we play.
That is the game, and that's exactly right. And even, you know, someone was saying, I'll just take whatever boulder's out in front of me and I'll go and rock climb it, you know, so that's your job. You do your job. All right, we're going to take a quick bump out, and then we're going to come back and finish the action.
Antoine, Hannes, Arthur, and Kaito.
Afra, Chloé, Stasha, Katja, Selma, Georgia.
You need to turn around the timer. All right, let's start the timer.
Als ze allemaal eerder kijken, dan is het ook eerlijk, toch?
Precies. All right, they have 2 minutes to read what's on the wall, and then they have to go back
totally different,
into
though.
isolation.
The setters have done a fantastic job actually stripping down all those holes. It doesn't look like the same wall that we saw just before, and there's some new and exciting boulders up there.
And you saw them, so we're back out, and it's going to be a fresh preview. So a lot of times Boulder 4 is, you know, 45 minutes away from your original preview. Now Boulder 4 is going to be just the same as Boulder 1, where you previewed it, you go back to isolation, bam, the first purge is going to be out right away.
And I think we're going to get to see our own preview right now as the athletes are down there observing. So this is the fourth block.
Oh my goodness.
You can see starting off in that pressing position, there's a little crimp there on the right, but you are quite far away from this jug up here, and there's a big angle to swing around. So very complicated coordination move. After that, swinging across into another side pull undercut, and it looks like the wrestling's going to be on from there.
And they were mentioning that they thought maybe they would get a coordination boulder for number 4, and the men, basically the same movement, going the other way.
Other way. This is a really cool start the guys have done. They've made a very 3D section of volumes. It's kind of like a ledge that you start on, a little crimp there, and then jumping into this kind of juggy Gaston, but to kill that swing, they're going to press their palm on that little stack of volumes on the left before carrying on through up to the top. And keep an eye, that top volume is actually blocked, so it's not a jug that you can latch. You're going to have to crimp it and focus. So climb's not over.
No, not at all. And I love that they basically set mirrored climbs through the first half of each boulder. Just going to be a really good finishing boulder, a lot of excitement. The crowd loves this kind of thing. So with everything to play for on both sides of the fence, you know that we're going to get 6 really, really strong attempts on this last boulder. And we're going to take Doc Masters finals maybe to the next level.
Yep. Hopefully a lot of action ahead of us, and I think athletes, I guess, have finished observation and are getting ready to climb. So why don't we hop
They only
down?
get 2 minutes. It goes by pretty quick when you're down on the mat. So they've had their time to look, and we got Afra and Misha getting their shoes on after their preview. We give them time. Don't worry, we're not rushing them. We won't start the clock until they're ready. We're not cruel in that way. But Afra Hönig and Misha Ruaz will be our first 2 climbers on boulder number 4. Music's back up again. Crowd has gotten their way back to their seats. Time to go get a beer, maybe even a snack, and everybody's back in play.
Great little look here at the preparation, putting that liquid chalk on, having to whip the hands around to get it to evaporate, and hopefully get ready for this last boulder. Misha pointing the other direction, getting in the zone, that headspace to try to do something pretty hard.
And 4 minutes for each of these climbers. Nothing else has changed in terms of the style and the scoring, of course. Tops are what we're looking for. And we're going to take boulder 4 into the 2025 Doc Masters. A little bit of a mark in the history books for a brand new format. And let's see what it produces.
Oh, Already difficult press. We've seen a lot of these standing press positions, so athletes are getting tired after not quite getting in with that hand. And I saw the route setters trying multiple betas, going with the left and the right. The left means you've got way more rotation to deal with, but the right is this strange double slap. You go out once with the right and then you bump again into this jug dynamically. So very hard move to do in terms of coordination.
Yeah, and then decisions to be made about whether you want to be a little bit more awkward or a little bit more stable, but a little bit more difficult. So yeah, starting to layer on the complexity at this point. And they're tired. Your brain is tired after a lot of thinking as well.
Oh, now
very close.
Good. Misha Pînzaru nearly sticking it with both hands. That was definitely not how the setters intended, but if he can do it that way, he definitely should.
Carrying a lot of swing through there, and you see the volumes that they're going to either step or press on. No texture on that face.
Yeah, so Afra as well, she got more purchase on that hold, but it's such a big swing, such a big rotation that we see people falling off right at the end. It looks like they're going to stick it until right at the end. And unfortunately not finding it that attempt.
Tried to go two hands that time.
Hoping we're gonna see some big swings and enough to stick it.
Oh no! All the way out, but not able to hold the return swing, and you're just sliding the whole time.
That
never really established.
Very cool, but you've only got so much skin to try that. So hopefully he can manage to figure it out. He's getting further each attempt, so I imagine he's gonna try that beta again. But will he be able to do it?
2 minutes now on the clock. Afra, just that second hand is maybe a half a fingertip away from being the friction that she needs. Just watch here, sliding on the way out.
That was the first go where he left on the swing outwards. He got much further on the second go. So now let's watch the third. Bumping the foot, eyeing it up. Oh, he's still on!
A little extra squeeze puts that one into where he needs to be.
Great job. He has that zone. Be pretty happy with that, but that left foot, super blind, very uncomfortable position right now. Finding a right toe hook, but it wasn't quite enough to lock it in. Is he going to try it again? His left foot. Oh! Whoa! Afra in and out of the shot.
Frame. That was great. A little
whirlwind
half spin on the way.
That was completely unintentional, but fantastic.
Yeah, good timing on that camera angle. I see Omar there hanging out in the depths of the cave. That's going to be some good. That's going to be some good footage from down in there for sure.
There we go. This is the replay of Afra. Pretty damn close.
Yeah. Ended up as a full 360, I think.
And then quite an epic drop from Misha as well.
All right, 30 seconds now, coming down to last attempts.
This is when the plus really counts, though.
Afra jumping up with room to spare.
Here we are. Can she find it? Oh, doesn't quite get it, but she does have time to get on.
Yep.
She's had the enthusiasm so far, so I imagine she will jump on for one more go.
I saw she just lacking a little press from the foot that time to get the height that she needed.
Here we go.
Right, into the plus.
Both athletes set up at the same time. Oh, just about not from Afra. Misha, though, he's in.
Nice.
All right.
Now with the
his composure.
Yeah, at all zeros. Afra loves staying to watch.
Bringing the foot under. He's getting the walk. That right toe is in a much more comfortable position now. The left toe, excuse me. The right toe standing on dual text, but making it work.
Yeah.
Now he's pressing hard. Look at the attention from Afra.
Yeah.
Wow.
What do you have to do on that block? So a big wave, a big thank you from Afra and Mika Pînzaru. Really good way to finish off your round here at Dog Masters.
Really good attempts from both athletes.
All right, Chloé Caulier and Mika M. It can be a tricky position to be in when you know you're climbing for pride, but they're all such well-seasoned athletes that they are never going to come out and give you half an attempt on last boulder. You want to show the crowd how capable you are, no matter what the stakes.
Yeah, exactly. So excited to see how this goes. I think these boulders are definitely within both these athletes' skill sets, but it's been a long 2 days of competition.
Yeah, there's been a lot of rock climbing. Oh, and even there, you just see how tenuous the men's start position is. You could just, having the tiniest little slip getting knocked off, does
also go for the double. I wonder, we might not get to see the perfect palm press that was done in testing, but if they do it the other way, they do it the other way.
Yeah, and you start to recognize maybe the climbers that talk to each other in preview. And you're like, I think we can do it this way.
Yeah.
And start to go into similar behaviors.
Mika M has done it that way. So here's where we found Misha falling off. That left toe needs to come along, and it has.
Chloé almost slowed it way down.
Mika's left the right hold. He's going back though.
Oh, getting the feet sorted.
And that now he's got his feet way across into the pressing position.
I feel like
the feet are going all over. He is set on that left hand. He has to try to think of some way to get across and out, going for a dynamic path, because I think he was feeling out of options there.
Yeah. You've seen the power that he's capable of harnessing. So you know that he's got the squeeze. This is just about really, really, really devious angles.
Yeah. You saw him jumping his feet around so much, just testing all the possible places that he could go. Very close from Chloé.
Very close. Quick brush, down to 2 minutes now. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like I can feel the tension building.
This is quite exciting. We're kind of want to see some tops on these climbs, and I'm sure we will, but always exciting to see the climbers quest into the unknown.
Yeah, definitely. And when the crowd will, always let you know if you're doing something they have not seen before.
There we are. Oh! Almost getting
rise and fall.
Second hand up for the match, just not quite enough there. Still some time to go.
A little bit more wild and free, but does make it work.
Dropped the right hand, but still held on with everything. Now this is all about the footwork. Watch the feet shuffle along all the way across. And here he got confused. Here he didn't know where to go. Is he going to figure something else out this time?
Took a quick stab at that little triangle. Now leaning back the way he came.
Oh, didn't know.
And this angle, remember, at the break, it tips back maybe 10 degrees, so you are getting kind of forced down into your feet while trying to press up like that. You're getting a similar treatment to the women's first boulder in that same place.
Chloé's in.
Slowed it down. Just needs a little more height, I would think. A little more up. And it's so hard to gauge, Danaan. If you push too far, you're generating way too much swing to handle.
Here, I think we'll get to see this swing. Watch the right hand. Boom. He's got it. That's a seasoned athlete.
Yeah, and a shoulder wrencher.
Learning how to not let go.
Even the swing to get your foot to stick, Chloé Caulier. Oh, yeah. Really wanted to get that, as everyone does. Does get on for one more. Mika on and Chloé on at all zeros.
Oh, that looked pretty good.
That did look really good.
She'll be upset with that now. Mika's the one to watch. She's not been able to figure out what to do.
And in Mika's style, if all else is failing, let's see if we can go for the top. If you were listening to that interview when he said it was time to play.
It was time to play.
On the big jump that he put down, and I feel that the same thing here, it's time to play. Let's, come out here and enjoy yourself. After so many seasons of dealing with World Cup pressure over and over and over, getting to just come out and pull down hard and enjoy yourself.
Exactly that.
a really good round from both of those climbers. Really good weekend all around. And now we have Stasha and Antoine Girard.
Stasha having a bit of a heartbreak on the green boulder from the women's, right there at the top.
And I think, I mean, depending on attempts, did we decide if Stasha gets a top here, she puts pressure on Katja and also Selma. Ooh, oof. Gets the palm down.
Gets the palm down. It looked very cool. Let's see Stasha go for it. Oh, there we go.
Let's make it work. Lovely stuff.
Now the feet are free. Finally.
Oh, the timing, so good.
Very nice from Stasha. Now we've got one more crux. How's she going to manage it?
She swaps to that false grip into the press. Is it a knee or a toe? What is she hunting on the left side?
There we go.
Fighting from Stasha. She gets a hit. Look at that. Stasha in fine form. Topping boulder number 4. What a fight.
See that knee, the technical knee. Brought it out, scummed it in there, and enough to get the match on the top hold.
And you see the shake of the head there, and that's going to be from the frustration carrying through, I think, from the first 3 boulders. But this is a great way to end your evening from the 2-time champion.
Wow.
And the right foot, let's not overstate, it's not particularly good, right? It's slopey, it's round, it's falling away. Well, we're proud of you, Stasha. That's excellent climbing this evening. All right, Antoine now.
See this.
Oh, my goodness.
Manage the palm press again, and if he can figure anything out for the end. Oh, very cool.
It does look good. It looks
great.
Leaner than the double.
Legs swinging all the way back, killing that momentum going out from the wall so that his hands can stay on.
We agree that's a scorpion?
Oh, it's a scorpion, yeah. Anything.
Scorpion the world over.
Disperses the vector, as they say in physics.
Even here, you see him doing a similar look back from Mika. Like, where do I need to put my right side?
Oof. So actually, quite a lot of climbers struggle to do this little footwalk left along that volume. It mustn't feel very natural at all, but they did manage to do it after a couple of attempts, but then still got stumped for the next section.
Yeah, and you can see the wall here, it does push you left while you're going left on left-facing holds. So that's been a bit of a theme, I would argue. The less grippy, powerful boulders have been about, can you control weird angles? Can you hold the body tension in places that you really are having to work for?
Yeah, I think a really interesting set of challenges. I would say these rounds have focused on power and complexity, not your traditional coordination. We see a lot of that in World Cups, the triple clutch, I don't know what kind of...
that'll do, they'll piff, paff, puff.
The piff, paff, puff. Not going for that, giving a new challenge for the athletes, a bit of a return to form, you could say, and I think it's done a magnificent job for this competition today.
You see Alice with his headphones on, Katja trying to get into the zone. 20 seconds left, so this will be last try from Antoine Girard. What can he do on his exit? A little bump from the crowd. Here we go. Great look at the palm.
Great swing.
So many dual text volumes in a row.
All right, so let's, dropping the right hand very early. I'm gonna go back.
Maybe just a tiny right toe scum. Is that enough to hold him in?
That left foot is not a happy foot.
No, it's gotta be back over, yes.
But there it is.
And he's on his fingertips. Oh, wow.
Now going for
I like that. But can you leave this position?
Let's see, looking a bit more comfortable than the other athletes. Oh, wow.
Just a slow release. All the pressure on your thumb. in the thunder undercling.
It looked like he put his whole forearm underneath that hold. Try to just get as much compression as possible, but unfortunately didn't do the trick.
All right, Hannis Van Daalsen and Katja Debevec. Now we're talking about podium spots that are in the mix. So Katja can jump ahead of Stasha here with a top, with Selma still to climb and Georgia still to climb. And meanwhile, Hannis can put himself out in front of both Artur and Kaito with their attempts to come. So tops, super important, I would argue, on both sides right now from here on out. Tops are going to make the difference, and this is what we hoped for. We hoped that the fourth boulder would be a deciding boulder for the title.
Oh wow, strong from Hannis.
This,
wow,
indeed.
He just broke that boulder.
Just being able to hold the crimp like that on that swing around the corner.
Killed so much swing by just crimping really hard.
Power to spare. A hip mobility.
Uh-oh.
Gotta get that left foot maybe further over first.
So let's see.
Gets the press.
Can't crimp his way through. Oh, maybe he will crimp his way through this section. He's gonna have to figure out something.
Katja getting two hands on, but not being able to hold on. He's the first person to get his foot on the triangle, but not really gonna help.
You saw trying to pinch that hold above his head. And I'd be worried to measure the force he was putting.
A lot, I think.
Moment.
Yeah, we just call that a lot.
Measures as one lot.
Katja got close. She's getting up around the corner with both hands.
Here we go. You see, he could. All the other athletes were still in that toe hook.
Yeah.
Hannis was so strong he could crimp and just walk his feet across, so he had way less of a pendulum to deal with when he jumps around the corner to the next hold.
Yeah, that was impressive. I mean, and it worked, so I expect that he'll try it again.
Yeah.
See if it's something that he needs extra power for, or if it's just something that he's got standard.
And so is Stasha ahead of Katja right now? Is Katja need this zone to...
Stasha provisionally second now with Georgia and Selma still to climb, but is ahead of Katja.
Oh, okay, so this is quite an important, even just a zone for Katja.
Yeah. We'll keep her in the mix.
In fact, I think Katja needs a top because Stasha already has a lot of zones.
Yeah, zone here, Katja will stay behind. She needs a top to overtake Stasha for sure, just based on attempts to those zones. A minute and change left. I think we heard the crowd reacting to Katja not quite making it stick. And Hannis back up.
There we go. Look at that powerful step through. Easy on the swing.
Really, really good climbing.
That was cool. Using strength to break a technical cross.
Yeah, right? Sometimes there's no substitute for power.
Can't blame him.
Yeah. And then just can't get that position to stick, and as designed. That's where the boulder gets turned up a notch or two in that transitional position. You go from being comfortable across the uncomfortable so often in climbing, and here it's really highlighted. And there is a quick look at what we're talking about. Stasha Geho. Oh. So Katja now with those attempts racking up. It still wants to catch it. Hannis sort of has put himself with that zone, of course. Kaito and Artur still to climb, comfortably ahead of Antoine.
Last attempt.
Zeros, Katja, not quite. And a wave to the crowd. The crowd here is fantastic.
Yeah.
Doc Master is known for being able to pack a building and put on a good show. Hannis Van Daalsen.
Keep an eye on the feet. That's the whole business here.
That's the press. Looking for a seam. Look how uncomfortable the angles are here.
Match the undercut.
The foot slip is gonna go not his way. I mean, an absolutely fantastic weekend of climbing from Hannis. And he is sitting up at the top, and it's gonna matter what Kaito and Arthur do here on the last boulder. So we're gonna clean a little bit of blood off, so we're gonna hold everybody back just an extra minute, and we'll just have a quick look back at here, Hannis casually making that jump around the corner, and then just, I mean, I'm not sure that I see the solution here.
I don't want to profess that I know what to do here. In fact, watching some of the world's best athletes struggle so hard, I am going to stay away from
let's just
opinionated comments.
It'll be nice if we can see someone unlock it and they will show us what the intended is across that space.
That is how it is. It makes absolutely no sense until someone just does it.
All right, Selma, Mimoun, and Artur Ribolo for their last boulder. Podium spots in the mix. Both currently sitting in third place provisionally. And I must say that I like a non-sanctioned comp because the climbers get to wear what they want. You know, it's not just a sea of country jerseys.
Yeah, it helps them out a lot. It's very difficult for a climber to make a career.
Oh, look at that.
Here we go. No bother for that swing.
Not at all.
Now the rest of the match comes.
Artur confidently round the corner.
These climbers are good.
Selma. Wow.
Oh, wow. Deep in
That's the swap and the palm.
And getting over that right. She's looking more comfortable than Stasha. Now that punch is risky. Stasha moved to the palm. Selma, though, looks like it's working.
There we go. Huge flash from Selma El Haj Mimoun.
And now she has put the pressure on Georgia. Georgia needs to pull something out of the bag if she wants to get that first place.
Oh, I like it. Artur still working. And out. So we'll just let this one reset on the scores. We are anxiously peering at the phones here. And you see a disappointment on Hannis. I think he knows that maybe it was Boulder 3 was perhaps the difference, maybe just attempts. But really wanted to put down boulder number 4, as they all do.
As they all do.
All right, so Selma sitting at 2 tops and 4 zones with 2 attempts to those tops. So those flashes will make a difference. Georgia is going to need to get that 3rd top because of attempts to top. So even if she tops this boulder, she needs, if she doesn't top the boulder, it's Selma's. So Georgia is going to need to get this top to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at this. It, as you say, that pinch, I mean, that is not, 4 of her fingers are on no-tex.
Yeah, outrageous. We saw Stasha go into that position as well, but then change into the full palm press on the hold. In any case, that looked so difficult. Both athletes clearly quite beaten after matching the top hold. But it's done now, and they never have to.
Yeah, you never have to look at it again. You get to sit back. Hopefully someone maybe is going to bring him a beer from the bar. Artur letting the clock run quite a bit here.
So he was quite comfortable with this first little crux, but then the business is all in the second half. We've seen everyone really struggle to climb this boulder, but hopefully we'll see someone, got 2 more athletes left, pull through and do something awesome.
Well, stuck. I love this foot move. I love a dynamic foot stab.
Yeah. All right, what's the sequence?
Like this.
Quite far over to the left is good.
Getting that little kind of volume grab. Ooh. Eyeing the top. taking a page out of Mika M's book.
Yeah, and as we know, the setters thought about that, so they put that other volume above to block it. So
a precise finish.
There, but you're not going to swing on a jug. You've got to crimp that thing.
And you can see as he's brushing that, there's no real depth to that zone hold.
Not at all. So yeah, we've seen athletes come into that right palm above the head. It's pushing them back away from the direction they want to go. It might be the method through, but we haven't seen anyone do it yet. One last attempt now.
All right, Arturo Bolo with his fate in his hands, quite literally. Oh, look at this. Takes a second to get a little bit of extra help from the crowd. I love that. I love a little showmanship. Why not see if you can get them to boost you to the top of a boulder?
Ooh, still on. Hard to recover from that, but he is.
You've got to calm that sudden spike in your heart rate, and he can't get his feet to cooperate. The shrug, the wave, what else do I need to do? And then, of course, a wave to the crowd. He's been really fun to watch all weekend.
Yeah, fantastic player, and so cool to hear his enthusiasm in the interview. That was a really nice moment.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we do this. Giorgia Tessio and Kaito Watanabe coming out for Boulder 4, both with an opportunity to win this competition. So a flash to zone from Kaito will give him the first spot on the podium. And Giorgia needs to top the boulder.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
And not
it's exciting.
Immediately the style of boulder we're expecting Giorgia to flash. She's really shown her best on the technical climbs, so let's keep our eyes peeled here.
Okay, just measuring it out. Ain't no thing. 3.5 minutes left.
Kaito not getting that first jump either, so we've seen a few flash through, but it's not a straightforward set of moves there. A quick look at our hot seat.
Yep, having a chit chat together. And they're hoping they get to stay there. Oh my goodness.
Oh, big fall from Kaito. He's up on his feet again. I hope he's okay, but you never want to land with your feet so far above your head.
Oh.
But he clearly had the commitment. He went for it. I think we get to see a quick replay of this and analyze the injuries. This is the one you showed to the doctor.
Yeah, that's what happened.
The knee nearly came to the face. I think it didn't quite hit him, but hopefully he is okay. He's getting on again, using that adrenaline.
Yeah, I was going to say, hopefully it doesn't get in your head to second guess yourself, but maybe, as you say, use that adrenaline and just, well, maybe even a bit less, right? A little less hop. And a little more squeeze.
George is through to the zone.
There we go. Now it's exciting.
Here we go. This is for first place.
Selma will be
not far enough. You saw that right foot going away from the hold. It wasn't going in. And Stasha was able to swing across.
Oh, Kaito with the palm press.
Georgia has to go with both hands the distance so far. So Kaito about to get the zone. Is this him in first?
Oh, it's the zone in one too many attempts.
Oh no.
He's gonna need a top if he wants to win.
Okay, looking different to the other climbers though. Very comfortable through this section. Everyone was showing extreme desperation. Kaito is actually relatively composed. Oh, little slip.
George, you can't repeat it. Oh my goodness.
This is tense.
Yeah, and you see he's actually holding, he's checking his pulse.
Yeah. That would do it. It could be a little technique to just calm down.
Yeah.
In between.
Sometimes you see climbers will put their hands on the coldest part of their body to try and get a little bit of that, to cool the palms down.
for
1 minute
again.
now.
Keep an eye. She's been to the zone once. And she gets
and again.
Recover from that. Both hand and foot going at the same time.
Does it?
Oh, goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
In for the win now, but we know this move is not a giveaway whatsoever.
When you see it,
the fight is on.
Trying to get the height. Oh, fingers, palm, back to the pinch. Oh, you see the shoulders flexing backwards. Georgia Tessio, there it is! Georgia Tessio at the wire.
She earned that first place.
Oh my goodness. And now this will be Kaito Watanabe last attempt atop to win the Dock Masters.
Oh, he's still on. Not very tenuous there. Just a quick hand slip. He's out of time. If he's off, this competition is over.
Yeah.
What's he gonna go for here?
Stay in control.
Looking for a press to get across. He's getting the pinch now, but that was...
Oh, not quite. That is going to give the win to Artur Robolo, who's been insanely fun to watch all weekend. I'm going to head downstairs right now to try and catch the winners, and we will... Don't go anywhere. You're going to want to hear from Artur. Absolutely guaranteed he's going to have something exciting to say, and then we'll catch up with you in just 1 minute.
What an insane final round, and here's that moment that Georgia takes the win back. She was in first place before, but then lost it again briefly to Selma, and she got out there and fought for that first place. Such a cool thing to see. So I think if we can take one last look at the scores, getting overall of how all the athletes did. Pete is now running down to the mats. He's going to find those first place winners and hopefully get them with some big smiles on their face in a different emotional state to how they probably were during isolation. Something really exciting, and I hope we get to share with their joy for a little second. So let's have a quick look at those scores one more time and check out we know our winners, but second and third place here in the men's, Arthur in first, Hannis second, and Kaito third place. Wasn't able to get ahead after those first two flashes that all three athletes had. And then on the women's side, actually a bit of a mix-up in this final round. The women's scores really went all over the place. Georgia, such a stellar performance. Look at all those tops in such a hard, both rounds. The semis and the finals have been notably hard, but she managed to get an impressive set of tops. Selma looking quite bad at the start, climbed her way back into second place, and Stasha Geo, the home favorite, the everywhere in Europe favorite, has earned third place in this competition with that amazing effort on the final boulder there. So we've got Pete. He's ready on the mats with the microphone. Hopefully we're going to see some smiling faces. Let's get down there.
All right, hey everybody. I'm standing down here on the mats with your 2025 Dock Masters champions, Georgia Tessio, Artur Robolo. Georgia, how are you feeling right now? You are the 2025 Dock Master.
I'm pretty surprised, but because this, as I already said, it's my first time here, so I had no expectation and I had so much fun, so I'm super happy with the results, super happy with how I climbed, so I'm happy.
And we were on pins and needles up in the booth knowing that you needed the top to win the competition. And after a few misses, and oh my goodness, so close. When you got into that almost final position, you had your right hand on the finish. Were you confident or were you still unsure?
No, I was not confident at all. Like, I was in a bad position for matching it, so I knew that I needed to stay calm and keep all together to match it. So I took my time and I tried my best because I knew I couldn't have another opportunity to get there again. So I gave my all.
Well, congratulations, atop at the end at the buzzer to win the Dock Masters. Really, really well done.
Thank you very much.
Artur Robolo. So, you are the 2025 Doc Master. What is the emotion at the front of your brain right now?
I am mind blown. Like, I can't believe it. As I said, I came here to win, but one thing is sure, I did not expect to win. But here I am. Like, everything happens in competitions. It's so great.
I mean, we enjoyed watching you climb all weekend. Your energy, always up here, your composure, your sort of, it seemed like a good sense of enjoyment of the whole experience, even under pressure. When you came out to climb this boulder, when you got into this position after the zone, so uncomfortable, what were you thinking across here?
I had no idea. Like, I had a plan going up. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do right hand, left hand, and then jump. Then I got in the position that everything like blend out. So I just tried to improvise something, maybe jab at the ends. I tried different solutions, but none of them worked out. It hurt my wrist a bit, but that's competition. And yeah, no, this boulder was too hard for me.
And it was too hard for everyone. When you're watching Kaito come up and you're looking at sort of the attempts tick away, if he had flashed the zone, he overtakes you. Are you nervous in the chair? I mean, you're hoping, what are you, like, it's such a complex place to be in when you're sitting at the top with one to climb.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be like the one hoping to fall. Like, I try to enjoy what he's doing and keep pushing him. So I was, of course, pleased that I came first, but it's sad for him, and I think he's a great climber.
Oh, he's technically an excellent climber, and I mean, he's well seasoned, and you're one of the young guns, making sort of your introduction at this point to international climbing. I feel like anybody that watched this competition maybe put you on notice a little bit. Absolute congratulations for being this year's Doc Masters champion.
Thank you very much.
I hope we see a lot more of you on the competition circuit.
Thank you, me too.
Amazing, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging out with us. Danaan, how much fun was that?
I have too much energy right now, and maybe the big thing about Doc Masters is it's not over once the competition's over. There's going to be a pretty big party now.
Yeah, as soon as this podium goes and the champagne goes, the lights go down, the music goes up, we turn this place into a bit of a rave. One of the final perfect moments of Doc Masters. 2025 Doc Masters finals, one for the books. I had an amazing time.
Unbelievable, and right up until the wire, the women's last boulder, incredible show. I'm pretty happy with it all.
That's how you write the story. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out with us. Absolutely come back, see us again next year. Have a great night. Make sure you watch the podium. We'll see you soon.
All right, zus, wil jij ze aankondigen?
Lief publiek, beste mensen. Het is mij een grote eer. It's a great honor to announce the men's category. Number 3 is Kaito Watanabe.
Kaito, could you please come forward for a prize ceremony?
Might be in the loo.
Is Kaito in the house? Yes, he's here.
Yeah. Kaito, man. Congrats. 1K for you. Give him a hard applause. Flew, climbed real hard. And then, number 2, kind of feels like our own, Hannis van Duizen. And then the Doc Master Men's Category 2025, Artur Rebolo! These are your champions. These are your Doc Masters. Give it up for the Doc Masters 25. Thank you.
Please stay with us here for the photo later on, or on the seat. All right, and now we will go on to the ladies. On top 3, number 3, once again, like last year, and also in top 3 the year before, Stasha Gale. Great performance from Stasha. On the second place of Dog Masters 2025, Selma El Haj Mimoun. Well done. Yes, please give it up. And the last one, Master of Dog Masters 2025, Georgia Tasio. Please give a round of applause for these ladies. And now, I would like to invite you, the top 3 men, to join the stage.
If you look for directions on what happens now, just ask Stasha, she's been here before.
For the photo, come forward, yes, yes.
You know what makes athletes smile honestly? Applause! Give it up for your Dog Masters 2025!
Yes! Here we go. Yeah!
And that's it. Have a great night. Have a great party. We love that you were here and we love to see you next year. Dog Masters 25, Energiehaven. Laat je nog één keer horen.
You know I'ma get it, I'm not even close to the finish, just scratching the surface, turning my L's into
Scratching the surface, turning my L's into winnings. I've been the one since the beginning. No days off, I go so hard in the pain. Put in that work and it's paying off quick. I left no crumbs, you know I ate. I'm pushing the limit like get out the way. I am the one, we're not one in the same. Feeling brand new when you're not in my lane. Count me back as I'm breaking the chain. I woke up the beast.
Mooi vind ik dat je de weg niet meer hoort, dat er geen andere mensen zijn, dat je helemaal in het bos bent. En daar ligt dan opeens een supermooi blok. En er zit niks extra, er zit niks in de weg, er zit geen scherp greepje in. Ja, soms denk je wel eens van ja, dit kan toch bijna niet anders dan dat dit gemaakt is om te klimmen. Dit is echt perfect. He, alsof een hele goede routebouwer voor ons cadeautjes heeft neergelegd om te ontdekken. In die afgelegen gebieden vind ik het heerlijk om in mijn eentje te klimmen, alles zelf uit te zoeken, de geluiden van het bos om me heen. Een werkdag is echt, dan loop ik met mijn mapje door het bos en dan heb ik dingen uit te zoeken. Bijvoorbeeld nieuwe boulders die geopend zijn, intekenen. Er zijn vaak geen filmpjes van die boulders nog. Helemaal geen informatie. Nou, dat vind ik een hele mooie manier van klimmen.
I think that's great for everyone, but most importantly, the youngsters. On-Dracomp is a very specific shoe, but especially if you're a lightweight climber, I think it's actually very universal, all-rounded shoe. If I could turn back the time and I was 12 years old again, I would use it for almost everything.